Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Christina Cox.
Good morning, everyone. 5 years ago, my family and I opened a retreat venue and we called
So as we bring up our featured speaker, Jedediah Greenfield, and the Strategic Procurement Division team, those who are standing, feel free to fill in these empty seats. We're all family and friends here, so if you have anything in the seats, let them sit down and have a seat. And so Jedediah Greenfield is the Chief Procurement Officer for the City of Houston, and so which is our buying department. And there is a new system for city vendors that he is going to share that information with you, he and his team. So I'm going to turn it over to him.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So let me start off by thanking our partners. We're grateful for our partnership with the Office of Business Opportunity, grateful for Director Murray, Dr. Jackson, and all their team. As mentioned, so my name is Jed Greenfield. I'm the city's Chief Procurement Officer, and we have some exciting rollouts that we just went live with on Monday, and so this was an excellent opportunity to talk about that. So if we can pull up, we're going to do a demonstration here of some of the information that's going to be very pertinent for you all to have. So while they're working up, we're going to pull up our new website. One of the things when I came into the role that I heard from a lot of our supplier community was, Jed, your website is not very friendly to use. I'm seeing some nodding heads. Yes, you guys, yeah, you all agree with that. And so we sat down and we said, okay, let's try to make a vendor portal, a supplier portal that is easy to use, and let's start embracing technology to create some efficiencies in the process of doing business with the City of Houston. And who all wants to do business with the City of Houston? Okay, well, good. You're in the right spot then. Excellent. All right. So Biz with Hugh, that's the brand of the city's supplier portal, right? You want to do business with Houston, go to bizwithhugh.org. This is the new website. If you had our old website bookmarked, you can go there. It will reroute you over to this page here. But this is the new look. This is our new supplier portal website. So if we scroll down here, we stop right here. So one of the things that we did is just to make this more easy to navigate, right? Most websites that you're looking at have gone to this tile approach, and so that's what we've done on our page here. So you start off those first two tiles up on this top, supplier registration. We have launched a new e-procurement system, and we're going to talk about more about that. I'm going to invite up some partners to talk and go through some of that. But we are now using, in the past, we used our e-bid system. It was a homegrown City of Houston put-together system, and it was well past its life. So we had been looking for some years, and we have gone with a new e-procurement system with SAP Ariba. And the SAP Business Network, and we're going to talk about what that looks like. But one thing that I want to make sure that you get from anything that you've got today is if you're looking to do business with the City of Houston, even if you're already registered with us, you need to actively go in and create your login credentials, get a link from us, and join that new business network through SAP. So everyone needs to do that, okay? And I'm going to talk about some helps that we'll have today, as well as information that you can contact us if you're trying to go through that process. But make sure that you realize you've got to go through and do that activation process. Everyone does. So this is where you come to, supplier registration. You can go there. That'll take you to our page. It's coming up here. We are not robots. All right, so your request form. Okay, so we just want to give you a quick high-level look at that. That's what that looks like. Let's bounce back to the main homepage here. We still have all the various forms that you need are still found on the website. They're right on that tile. You can see them there. Also, if we jump back to the homepage, over there on the right, you'll also see contact information. So throughout any of this process, you're remembering, hey, Jed said something today or the other day about what I need to do. I can't remember, right? That's how you get a hold of us. It's right there. The supplier help desk, call that number, go to that email, and we're there to help you. And let me just pause, too, and ask all of my procurement team if they'll just stand or wave your hands for a moment and be recognized here. I have an absolutely incredible team. They are amazing. So memorize those faces. Come see us today if you have questions, and we will help you. Right? We are there to help and assist, but this is the contact information. All right, the next two tiles here as we go down, bid search. So this is the new e-procurement system. This is where you're going to go to find our open solicitations, right? And this is where you need to get new login credentials and you need to register with the city. Now you'll be able to see all of these without any registration. It's live. You can see that. You can see a list of our projects that are there. So if you're looking and you're saying, hey, this doesn't look like last week when I went to look at the city solicitations, you're right. This is now what it will look like, and it's all listed out here. All right, let's go back to the main page. The other thing, and this is something that I have been asking for years, and so when I got to sit in this seat, I got to really push for this. Any of you have all been bringing a bid, fighting through Houston traffic, just to come down to City Hall and drop off a physical copy to the city? You've all done that, right? No more. We have embraced technology, right? By using this new e-procurement system, you now can submit electronically to us. No more fighting traffic, no more coming in 2 minutes late and having your bid not seen by us because it didn't make the cutoff, right? That was something that would just kill me when I see all the hard work that goes into a bid and it's brought in, but it misses the time because there are a few cars that you have to deal with in the city of Houston. So bid openings, as a part of that electronic submission, bid openings are now electronic. So again, if you have come in the past to City Hall and sat through a bid opening in the chambers, it's now on Microsoft Teams. The Teams link is on that tile. It's still on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock, or Thursdays, at 11 o'clock. You log in right there and you can go through and see a bid opening. All right, let's scroll down to the next set of tiles. All right, so the next three tiles there, Houston Public Works, Airport System, and General Services Department. So one of the other things I heard from supplier community was, Jed, why do we have to know all the various places to go to the city to see where bid opportunities and solicitations are? Right? You don't need to know, you shouldn't have to become an expert in city structure, right? But you had to be. You had to know, oh, well, if it's a public works construction project, I've got to go find it on public works. If it's a GSD construction. So on your new supplier portal, everything is on this page. So if you want to see what Public Works has on their construction project, you can click there. If you want to see what Airport System has, you can click on their tile. And if you want to see what General Services Department has. So you are able to navigate all of the solicitations for the city from this one page. So you've got one place to go, bizwithyou.org. The next tile there is if you want to look for any past solicitations. This is a great tool if you want to see what we've done in the past, what type of, maybe you're a new supplier and you want to see, has the city ever done anything of what I provide, a service or a commodity that I have? Use that tool to go search. And then let's go down to the next set of tiles. This one on the left here, supplier training and engagement. I'm also excited for this. We now have in our office, in addition to our supplier enablement to help you get registered with the City of Houston, we now have a supplier engagement team. So this is a team that is working to help engage with you and help train and give you the process and the tools that you need to be successful. And so what we have here, we have a lot of information right now as it relates to our new e-procurement system, the SAP Ariba and Business Network here that you can find helps. But as we start into 2024, you will start to see video trainings that we'll post here. We're going to do a lot of simple, quick vignette videos. Simple things like, how do you fill out the drug forms for the City of Houston? What does your insurance card need to look like? All these very basic things that people can get lost in and that take time when we're trying to work through with our suppliers and vendors. We will put it here and create that opportunity for you all to utilize those. And we want to hear from you. If there's something that you're saying, Jed, we do not understand what this process is. Chances are that there are others like you that are also having that same problem. We need to hear about it so that we can create a training video and post it up on our site for others to see as well. All right, let's go back. We also have, obviously, our partners in the Office of Business Opportunity. You can go to their page from here. Our procurement plans that we're trying better to have those more robust to give you an idea of what we're looking for in the coming year, and also updating those on a quarterly basis. And then scroll down to I think these are the last two. If you want open records requests, that's the link you go to. And then open finance is where you can find information on existing contracts that are in place. And then what I'll end with is the last button here is we want to hear your feedback, right? We made that as big and bright as we could because we really want to hear if there's a problem, if there's an issue, if there's something that we can do better to help the supplier community. I want to hear about it. I want to know about it so that we can look at and we can see what we can do to help. So this is your new supplier portal, bizwithyou.org. So let me pause real quick. I'm going to pivot now. I'm going to invite our partners from SAP Ariba to come up and give you some basic information on that new e-procurement system that we are using that replaced our e-bid system. So we launched that just this Monday. So it is live. It is there. We want to make sure that you're aware of it. Throughout the rest of the forum today, just kitty corner here, in the registration area, we will have some of my staff and our SAP staff that are there to help you answer any questions. Also in the main hall, strategic purchasing, our team will be there as well. We want to make sure we answer any and all of your questions. So with that, I'm going to pause and we'll pivot over here to our SAP team to walk through some of this.
Perfect. Thanks, Jed. You can go ahead and pull up that share. Howdy, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so what I'm here to show you is basically what does it look like for you to do business. So, for example, Jed was talking about you've got this bizwithyou.org site, which honestly, this is one of the slickest customer sites that I've seen as far as a rollout is concerned. Love the fact that he's got all of these different areas where you can see, hey, let me go look at the bids that are out there. So he didn't click through any of this, but just to give you an idea, if you do click through that, this is where it's going to take you. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. But if I scroll down, you can see solicitation after solicitation after solicitation right here. So you can look at everything that's out there. So that's really cool. A lot of little help links that were on that site too, which I think is pretty cool too. So for example, you need to figure out how to register as a supplier. He mentioned that earlier, that everybody's gonna have to go out and register. So you need to set up your registration. Well, that site, bizwithyou, and there's two H's there, by the way, .org, it gives you all the help that you need for that. So I know that, for example, today we had all of these links set up in a PowerPoint to show you what does this look like to register and log in. I'm going to show you some of this live in just a second, okay? And you know, what are some of we've set up videos, for example, if you want to just kind of walk through some tutorials of that. You know, what does it look like to receive a purchase order? I forgot, how do I submit an invoice again? You can click through and see some of these videos to do that sort of thing. But again, I'm going to show you this live right now, okay? So, what does this look like? Let me go back to here. And what I've done is I've set up a supplier, and here's an example of, it's just a simple supplier. So this is not some sophisticated supplier that can do EDI and so forth. This is just a small business that has an email address. So they're going to get oh, this is really small up there. I guess it's good enough. Can you guys see this okay? All right. But you're going to get an email, for example, that says, hey, the city of Houston sent you a purchase order. And if you click on that, you can see some of the details about it, and go click here to log in and see that purchase order on the network. Now, the way that the network works is essentially it's a communication a layer between the city of Houston and all of its suppliers. And as a supplier, you may actually have other customers that are on the network as well. So if you're already familiar with the network, some of you may be, you've probably already got customers that are sending you purchase orders. This is nice because it can really become a one-stop shop for doing business with all of those customers instead of having to go to this company's portal, and then this company's portal, and this company's portal, and so forth. And you can manage all that in one spot. Like in this case, it's got me logged in, and I can do, for example, I want to go look at my orders. Well, here's a listing of all the orders I have by customer, and I can click on any one of those to then go in and start working on that one. Now, I zoomed in a little bit, so it's a little bit big here, but here you can do things like send back an order confirmation. What if you just want to tell the city, hey, we got your order, we can fulfill this, and we think we can fulfill this on this date or whatever. And then if it's something like a material, maybe you might want to create a ship notice. By the way, in the ship notice area, you can select who the carrier is and put in things like the tracking number if you have that sort of thing. And ultimately, hopefully you're wanting to get paid for that, right? So you want to go in and create an invoice. And so if I go in to start creating an invoice, then most of the time, what you're going to end up doing is just putting in whatever your invoice number is. So in your own books, you've got an invoice number that you're going to be sending back to the city. Just put that number in here. So whatever that particular number is for that invoice, and more often than not, that's it, because it's copying everything over from, oh, sorry, this is because I zoomed in a little bit. That description is a little weird looking. But it's copying over everything from that purchase order. So you don't really even have to do much here unless you're doing something like maybe you're only billing for one of them because you only had one instead of the two that they ordered. Okay, well, I'll bill you for the one now, and then I'll bill you for the other one later when I'm ready to ship that one out. So you can do things like that, but I'm telling you, most often, you're going to get this PO, you're going to put in, you're going to put in your invoice number, and you're going to click next and submit. It's that simple, okay? If you have other things you want to add to this, like attachments, comments, etc., right here at the top, you've got this add to header. There's tons of bells and whistles that are in here as far as things that you might need to do with this particular invoice when you're sending it back to the city. But for the most part, you're probably just going to put your invoice number in there and submit. Okay? Once you do that, so I'll go ahead and click next. Oh, by the way, you will notice that there are rules that are set up here too that govern your relationship with the city. So, for example, if the city has a rule that says something like, hey, you can't change what the unit price is for that particular item because we have it under contract with you, and we know what that item cost is, so it's on the PO. So notice here, I can't change that because City of Houston has a rule that says if it's on the PO, that's the price. But in other cases, it may be flexible, and it may let you change things like I changed the quantity here. Okay? Bottom line is it's doing a lot of error checking, so it's helping you guys become more accurate for your invoices coming in, and it's taken a lot of pain off of the City of Houston's accounts payable division to try and go match everything up and see, is this what we agreed upon? Is this what was in the contract? Etc. When you click next, it's checking all of the rules again to see, is that okay? Is it not clicking next? Come on. Do I have an error message here? Sorry, I may have missed something. Oh, here we go. Tax rate. See, here's an example where there's a rule that says, hey, if the tax rate wasn't identified on the PO, then you got to indicate it on the way coming back. So I'll say, all right, this is a zero tax. Now it calculated that for me, and I can move on. Okay, once I move on, here's that submit button that I was talking about. You can submit that, and now your invoice is off to the city, ready to be processed. So what does this mean? This means that your invoices become more accurate, which means the city can process them quicker, which means you guys can get paid quicker. Okay? So it makes this whole process much, much easier. All right, a couple of other quick things I want to show. Let me exit this invoice creation. Jed was mentioned a moment ago about how you can set up your account on the network and then set up your profile with the City of Houston. Well, There's a couple different things out here. One is, remember, this is a network, so it's not just the city of Houston. It's other municipalities, it's other private companies. They're all out here buying and or selling. So you do have, for example, the ability to go in here and set up your entire company profile. This is great for you guys trying to find more business. Because if you're out here, guess where you show up? Remember those solicitations I showed you a moment ago that was on the Houston site where you click through and you could see everything that was active? It'll proactively email you if they post something to a certain commodity, let's say. So they say, hey, we need window washing services or whatever it is that you do. You're going to get an email that says, hey, City of Houston posted this. Oh, by the way, I don't know, Brazoria County posted this. So other municipalities, other private companies, if they post something in your set of commodities, whatever you say you can do, you're going to get notified about that. So it's good for you guys as far as building more business. Also, if the City of Houston, and this is likely, has sent you an invitation to fill out their own profile. So this is above and beyond what's on the network. This is now, the City of Houston wants you to fill out specific stuff that is unique to them. So you're going to see that essentially in the same area that you're going to see the solicitations, the proposals, and the questionnaires. For example, here, I've already competed in a bunch of different solicitations with the city, and I've got my supplier registration questionnaire right here. Well, if I click on that, then to go fill that out, which I think I've already filled it out, so you'll notice I've already got information in here. But if I hadn't, this would be blank, this would be blank, this would be blank. And I just go in and I fill out this registration profile. That's what you're going to do. And again, remember, they've got that whole site set up just for you. The bizwithhugh.org. And on there, it gives you a tutorial how to fill out this kind of stuff. But when you submit this, this makes it easier for the city to then get you into their vendor master. So what does that mean? That means it's much quicker and easier for you to do business with the city. Okay? Any questions? All right. Oh, yes. No, great question. I was waiting for somebody to ask that. So on the network, so for example, let me go back out to that main page where you saw the purchase orders. So I'll go back to just the network piece. You'll notice one thing up here. It's got this Get Enterprise account. Okay, let me ask real quick. How many of y'all have a LinkedIn account? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, almost everybody. Now, I want to see hands of those that pay for their LinkedIn account. Yeah, not so many, huh? Pretty much the same paradigm here. There is a premium account. It's called an enterprise account. The vast majority of you will not need that because you don't need, like in LinkedIn, all the extra little bells and whistles that you get from that premium account. You can do business with the city for free, ongoing. It's for the biggest of the bigs that want to do things like use EDI to plug into their back-end systems. Or they need extra support because they are literally getting thousands of POs every day and they want to understand more about how they can process those in a batch fashion or something of that nature. But if you want to do what I was just doing, for example, with the email, or you can even, for example, if any of you have something simple like QuickBooks, where you can spit out an email of a PDF of an invoice, you could just email that to the network. There's a little setup involved in order to say, hey, what's your email address and what's this buyer that it's going to? But once you've set that up, you can just shoot them out from, again, I'm just using QuickBooks as an example, but whatever system you've got that can spit out that PDF, it'll go to the network and it'll read it and send it on to the city with your PDF attached to it, by the way. All that, free. Okay? Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Great question. So the question is, when you register, can you have more than one person on that? And I would say most of our companies, most of our suppliers on the network do that. So they'll have one person that's more involved in the sales side, maybe they're doing those solicitations, and one person that's doing more of the maybe accounts receivable side. They're sending out the invoices and getting things paid and so forth. So absolutely, you can have multiple people under one account, and you can govern who can do what in there too, if you want to have some separation of duties between those. Is there a question over here? Yeah.
Like in sam.gov, you can set up some predefined searches and updates and frequency that you want them to be done. That's one question. Second, can you filter what those solicitations are and show them on the site?
So the first question was about sam.gov. I don't know if any of you have used that. The funny thing is we're actually working to get some integration going with sam.gov so that we can pull all of that information in here as well. That's going to be really nice once we get that going. So there's that. Second is, can you filter it down? And the quick answer is yes. And I would urge you to do what I was saying when you first go in. Go in and set up your company's profile to set up what you do. That essentially is that search criteria for you, and it will proactively email you anytime something comes up that meets that criteria. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting one too. So his question was, is the filtered criteria NIGP or NAICS codes? On the network, it uses the most globally used standard, not just the US public sector standard, which is called UNSPSC, United Nations Standard for Product and Service Classification, I think it is. Anyway, it's very similar to NAICS codes. It's more similar to NAICS than it is NIGP. But a lot of our customers, and City of Houston is probably one of those, will actually have the NAICS or NIGP as a separate field in there. So you won't see it on the network, but you'll see it when you click through to get to the event. You'll see exactly the NIGP code. Okay, perfect. Yes. All right. I don't know how much time I have. Am I running over? All right. Let's get one more question. Yes. Ooh, that's a good question. How long?
So right now we're obviously being inundated since we're just gone live. So it is taking us a little bit of time to do that, but we are working through that. I'm not sure. Do we have a general time frame of what it's taking them? I would say about a week. If it's been Ben. Yeah, if there's a reason you need to be expedited, that help desk number that was on the website, call that number or email that email, and you'll get, Ben and Sergio from that team are here. I've got 2 people obviously still back at the office processing things for that right now, but we can do that. And I know there's probably several other questions, so I just want to make sure that you know we are going to be, City and the folks with SAP, kitty corner right here on the other side of the hall. Come back there, ask us questions. I've also got a team that will be in the main hall with all the other city departments. We want to hear from you, so come by, talk to us, and let us answer your questions.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So again, they will be in room 381, which is to my right, if you want to get signed up with that. Also, their table is in room 372. So before I release you to go and meet the buyers, just want to explain everything for you. So we have 4 rooms, right? We have this room where all the workshops will take place. The next workshop is about to start in 10 minutes. It is the Finding Your Place in Transportation. If you want to be in transportation, if you are in transportation and logistics, if you're looking for a way to pivot with your business, if you have a vehicle, you want to make sure you check out this transportation panel because it has some dynamic presenters, and they're going to break it down for you here in this room at 9:40. After their panel, then at 10:35, you will hear about cooperative purchasing and how you can do business nationwide here at 10:35. Then at 11, you'll hear from Amazon, how to do business with Amazon at 11. And then at 11:50, you will hear from the airport, doing business with the airport, All those workshops, panels are taking place in this room, so be mindful of your time, your watch, your phone, and make sure that you make it back to these rooms so you don't miss those workshops. So, this is one room. The next room directly behind is room 371. That is where you're going to find our community partners. So anyone who is a prime contractor, who is another government agency, they're going to be in room 371, directly behind this. Third room, directly behind 371 is 372. You're going to find all of the City of Houston buyers that are here are in that room, as well as business support organizations. And then again, the last room, the fourth room, 381 to my right, is going to be, if you have an appointment for your DBE certification, you'll go there. Also, to sign up for SAP, what you just heard about Ariba, they'll be in that room as well. Then do not forget, right before the HGAC Cooperative Purchasing Workshop, which starts at 10:35, there will be snacks in this hallway. There's a lot of y'all, okay? So please be considerate of your fellow folks that are here, all right? Any questions? Great, all right, go meet the buyers and stay here for the workshop if you're gonna attend. Thank you. This dynamic group, so please take a seat. I want to introduce the moderator, Priscilla Picasso of Texas Capital Bank, and a lot of other organizations, I want to say. And so I'll allow her to introduce her panel, and we'll go from there, and they'll take questions. So whatever you use to take notes, get that ready because they have a lot of information to share with you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. PJ, and thank you for hosting this great forum. And so everybody, as Dr. PJ mentioned, my name is Priscilla Picasso. I am with Texas Capital Bank. I'm a business banking group manager for Houston North Market. So I lead a team of relationship managers, some of which I see are in the room. Say hi. And yeah, I've been in banking for a little over 27 years. Transportation and logistics is near and dear to my heart. I am the vice president for the Greater Houston Trucking Association. The association is actually a personal mission of mine. My grandfather was a long-haul truck driver his whole life. And so I know very well not only the sacrifices of our trucking industry, but also how essential they are and how vital they are just to our day-to-day. And so I'm really honored to be here to lead this panel. We have some amazing women on this panel. We are down to, you'll probably notice, unfortunately, our behind-the-wheel panelist, Pakisha, she's out with the flu right now, and then Tony Punch, the freight broker, she actually broke her foot last night. But we still have an amazing panel up here, and I'm looking forward to the discussion. So what I'll do is we'll start with introductions, and I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves, so you guys know who they are and what they do, and then we're going to go through a forum and start a discussion here with a few questions for each of our panelists, and then at the end we'll save a little bit of time for some Q&A. All right, so I'm going to start first with our networking and resource panelist, Liz Castillo.
Thank you, Priscilla. Good morning, everyone. My name is Liz Castillo. I am the founder and president of the Greater Houston Trucking Association. GHTA is a nonprofit organization located here in Houston. We are on a mission to help in the advancement of the trucking industry. We provide the industry with resources, continuing business education, information, and networking events. Having been deeply rooted in the trucking industry through my family and my career, I've witnessed firsthand the sacrifices the industry makes and the challenges that are presented by the lack of resources. It's very important that we have forums like this to help bring the industry together with resources and information that they need in order to thrive. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tiffany Townsend. I'm the founder of Ship Black and Ship Black University. Not only do we provide warehouse services for small e-commerce brands, but we also teach and educate e-commerce business owners on the whole logistics of the packing and shipping industry. My background started with the United States Postal Service 25 years ago, I think now, 20 years there and on to starting my own business. So really have a love for entrepreneurs and making sure that they understand this thing that I love and that I live and breathe, which is logistics.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Roberts, and I'm the president and owner of All Points Warehouse here in Houston. We've been in business since 2011. However, I've been in the transportation industry for over 20 years. We focus on all types of freight. We work with containers. We work with flatbeds. We work with dry vans. We have expansions coming in to refrigerated storage and reefers on the way. And we just continually expanding our business. We have a total of 10 acres that we own in the East End, and that comes to about 250,000 square feet of warehousing space, along with 8 acres of parking and storage. So we focus on all types of transportation, and as I mentioned, you know, we're constantly expanding. It's all about diversity and whatever project that you're working on, whatever field that you're working on, and always reinvest in your company.
Good morning. My name is Katrina Hawkins. I'm the owner of DJH Express and DJH Express National Training Academy. So we specialize in final mile delivery services. We're located in Dallas, and we've just recently partnered with Tiffany down there at the end to also provide services in Houston. Along with our final mile delivery service, we also do training. So we have a registered apprenticeship program. We're actually a sponsor with the Department of Labor, and so we provide CDL Class A training along with warehouse and dock worker training. And so our focus is, training individuals in the transportation space, and then also finding employment opportunities either through us or through our employer partners. And also we focus on working with the formerly incarcerated and veterans. We feel like those two communities definitely need help with transitioning either from jail or prison or transitioning out of the military. And so we want to be able to, provide them assistance with the job training piece of it, as well as the on-the-job training.
So thank you, ladies, very much for those introductions. So I'm going to start a question here for Liz, but I know all of us have something to contribute to it, especially being in the forum where we're at right now and having, I've already connected with so many business owners this morning, or be able to connect them with other people. Rebecca just did that a couple of times this morning. So Liz, I want to start with talking about that, right? There's a lot of either new business owners, aspiring business owners here, or business owners that are continuing to grow their business. What key networking strategies or resources would you recommend to someone seeking to establish their presence here locally in the transportation scene?
So I always encourage anybody trying to get into the trucking industry or in the trucking industry to come out to events like this. Come and attend forums where you can learn about the industry from people that are experts in the industry or have been in the industry, that can guide you to organizations like the Small Business Development Center, the City of Houston Business Office. I mean, these are all organizations that can help you get started, find the resources that you need, GHTA being one of them as well. Just get out and see what's out there available. A lot of people in the industry come to me and tell me, there's not enough, they're looking for work, right? They're looking for access to contracts, but they don't get out and network. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. It's important to just make those connections and see and find those resources, right? It's just opportunity is not going to come knocking on your door. So it's important to get out and seek. There's opportunities out there for everybody. Online, there's so much information online as well. And a lot of these resources that are here today post a lot of information. And so, yeah, I would just encourage you guys to get out and seek organizations like ours and the City of Business as well. So, City of Houston, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, we have 2 rooms full of resources all in one place. So anybody else want to add to that?
I would like to add as well, being a member of the Greater Houston Trucking Association, and along with other organizations, the Easton Chamber of Commerce, whatever network event that you have access to, I highly suggest that you attend. If you cannot attend because you're behind your desk and you're taking care of your daily duties, I would highly also suggest that you find someone in your network that can represent you. I used my brother to go out and be my face and wear my brand. And in the last 3 years that he's done that, the change, even though my customers don't come from the people that he actually networks with, the people bring customers to us just by reference of him being out there. So coming over to the events at the Greater Houston Truckers Association, as well as other network events near your office or in your area, even though you're wondering why should I go there, what customers am I going to get, it's not about that. It's about getting your name across and showing off your brand.
Yeah, I
And to add to both of them, I would also check with your community organizations. I do a lot of networking with churches and nonprofits. And so a lot of times they have their own internal networking. They have coalitions where they may meet once a month. But I found a lot of business just by going to community meetings. Sometimes even, we're in Dallas, but even like Dallas College, they may have different transportation events, but procurement events are very important, but also don't forget about your local community organizations because they're boots on the ground, and so they have a lot of resources when it comes to local transportation companies that you could partner with as well.
Thank you all for that. So a lot of what I heard is, being out there, being engaged in the community. I really feel too, I see a lot of business owners do is establish their brand, like you mentioned, and having people on your team out there as well. And along those same lines, my next question is for Tiffany. Tiffany, can you maybe elaborate on a successful case where community-focused logistics, like what you have with Black Ship or Ship Black initiatives, led to tangible, positive outcomes for not only the business but the underserved communities they serve?
Testing. Yes. Well, when I started Ship Black, actually right in the middle of the pandemic, when I left the Postal Service, I actually opened up my own postal store, and the pandemic happened. And so what Ship Black is it actually became what the community needed, right? We didn't know what was going, no one knew what was going on, but when you have business owners, it told to shut their doors, and you got boutiques and restaurants saying they need to close, they still need to make a living. People were trying to feed their families, right? And so they started e-commerce brands. They started selling online. If they had a store and it was forced to close, they started shipping, but they didn't know about shipping. And that's where my expertise came in. And so for the first, and still to date, Ship Black has been in business for over 3 years. I've never actually had any active marketing. It's all been word of mouth, and it's community. It's making sure that you're treating people right, you're doing good business, you're collaborating with others, you're networking, and that's how your business start coming around. And so for the last 3 years, Ship Black has just been survival mode from individuals' references. And just go to Tiffany, she'll help you. Go to Tiffany, she'll help you. And so all of those things are just important. It's just important to me. And so then if they trust me to actually take care of their products, now with this pivot more on the training, now I'm being able to educate them, to teach them how to grow their logistics business, how to really understand how to make money off of postage, how to make numbers make sense when it comes to packing and shipping, because it's one thing that I always say, shipping is not free.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to add to that?
I think she pretty much covered it.
Yeah, you nailed it. So so along those same lines, cultivating talent. My next question is for Katrina. What strategies do you suggest for businesses to cultivate talent within underserved communities for roles, specifically within last mile segment, but for any of our other panelists, any segment, right?
So one thing that happened during COVID is it opened up the final mile delivery segment. So we went from people getting packages, 3 to 5 days, to them wanting their packages same day delivery, prompt delivery services. So what has happened over the last 3 years is because of the demand for customers wanting to get their packages, the same day prompt delivery, it's opened up a whole new segment, which is the gig economy. So just like you think about Uber, where, with the gig, they pickup drivers. The same thing is happening in final mile delivery. So now we have a bunch of different apps. I can think of one app called Roadie, where you can sign on, drive your car, and you can deliver packages. And you'll deliver packages from food, Home Depot, Walmart, but the pandemic just really opened it up. So there's so many opportunities now in final mile. And for me, I feel like that's a very good entry point for people that are trying to get into transportation, not really sure how to get into transportation. This kind of give you a chance to kind of get your feet wet. And then you can grow from there to see, like, do I really want to be a driver? Do I want to go into warehousing? Do I want to go into dispatching? But it's just so many opportunities. And so when it comes to training people, it's really about the customer service at the end of the day. So we're a small company and we do local deliveries, but we're very customer focused and customer oriented. So our customers know where their package is at all times. There's all type of software and apps available for tracking. So they can track when you pick up the product from the store all the way to when you deliver, take a picture for delivery confirmation. So what I would do is just train people on making sure that you're focused on the customer. If the customer's calling, maybe they don't have the app and they're tracking their package, then you just let them know, hey, the package will be delivered in an hour, 2 hours, or whatever. And so then also training people on communication and training them on just the integrity of making sure that customers understand that their packages are safe with you. And in all of the business that we've gotten has really just been word of mouth. We also do gigs when we don't have any work from our regular customers, then we'll hop on the app and deliver, and we get customers that way too. So there's so many opportunities in the final mile, segment, and we haven't even talked about the contracts. So I would say customer focused and just making sure that your customer, is comfortable with when you have their packages.
Any other feedback?
No, I was just going to say, the gig economy, it's open, and Katrina is talking about one piece of it. When you look at if you want to be a deliverer, if you want to jump into, I want to start delivering, I want to make money. But when you have to really start thinking about the overall rain, sleet, or snow, does it really make sense for me? Do I really want to go out in inclement weather and deliver? Rainy days is when people want delivery the most. When it's cold is when people want delivery the most. Can you actually, produce those things? Are you going to produce when the customer on the other end needs you the most? And that's the things that we really try to, and that's a lot of things that I try to do with my Ship Black University. When I talk about skin in the game, let's be real. Let's talk about reality. Is logistics really for you? Is last mile for you? Because you may look at the money and say, oh, I really want to do this. But then when it actually happens, it's different. In my warehouse, it's not air conditioned. And so we got Texas heat, and then we have the winter, and do I actually want to work in warehousing and storage that's not climate control or not? And so you really then have to start asking yourself the tough questions. Is this something that you really want to do? And the great thing about logistics is just like the medical industry, it's a huge umbrella. And it's so much opportunity. Logistics is not just trucking. Logistics is not just warehousing. It's so many jobs there that it's open to anyone if you can just dig into it or connect yourself with someone from logistics and know the different opportunities there that's for you.
Thank you. Well said. So speaking of warehousing, Rebecca, I have a question for you. Many business owners that might be here already in transportation and logistics, so no matter what sector, warehousing is a very hot topic, right? And a strategy a lot of business owners consider. What key considerations or advice would you offer business owners that are contemplating setting up their own warehouse operations?
Warehousing is a very, you have to know your customers. So it's very tricky. At one point, you'll have not enough warehouse space available based on the economy demand. And then you'll have 60,000 square feet of nothing in your warehouse because of demand or the lack of demand. So when you're interested in doing warehousing, you have to, if you're going to start this, you're going to have to scale it unless you have contracts with your customers that, with or without content in that floor space, that floor space is being paid for. So you don't lose out on that. Also, another thing about warehousing is everybody's always needing some type of warehousing, even if it's not long-term. So always be open to, again, diversify your customer contacts. The last mile ladies that are here, those guys are actually saving some of the bigger warehouses right now by just, they don't have to commit to a long-term lease. They can lease for just a few shipments or whatnot. And so what that does is that warehousing community, and that's a word of collaboration that we toss around a lot in our networking, is work with your other warehousing partners in the area. Not only can they help you out, but you can actually help them out. And again, the last mile ladies here, which is really important. I'm mid in the logistics world and supply chain. I'm in the middle. We have our manufacturers and our exporters from overseas, and so they ship all their product here to our port. My trucks go to the port, pick up all the containers, deliver them to the distribution centers, and then from the distribution centers, they ship them to the final mile. So I'm right in the middle. And so our warehouses fluctuate up and down. So as I mentioned, just start off with something that makes sense for what you have already, and then slowly grow into the warehousing. As I mentioned, I have 5 warehouses that I do business in, over 250 square feet of warehousing space. And because of our network connections, because we're also collaborators with other warehouses in the area, we're able to keep our warehouses full. Now, also always think about additional income that, again, for those times that there is a lack of demand and your warehouses are empty, don't commit to something long-term because the turn of the tide is coming. So we already know that people are putting in orders for 2024. So by the third quarter of 2024, the warehouses are going to be full again, and it's going to be at a premium. So just prepare always when you're thinking about going into warehousing and what the market is.
Just to add, don't they have I know they have co-warehousing spaces in Dallas where you can share, they split up the warehouse so you can just only rent out a small portion and then grow from there. So that might be a good idea if somebody's trying to get into warehousing. Look at those co-warehousing, those co-working spaces. Just like for the office buildings, they also have them for warehouses. And that would be a good entry point before you get into something long-term, because don't the leases usually have to be like 3 years or 5 years? Yeah, so with those co-working warehousing spaces, you can have shorter leases, and that way you can kind of test it out before you commit to something long-term.
And that's a good point. And to go back to what you said earlier, Rebecca, collaboration. So collaborating within that same sector, because Rebecca might have some space, right, in one of her warehouses. And I know very well there's not a square inch in Rebecca's warehouses or offices that are not generating revenue, right? And so that's where that collaboration is really key. And going back to even the first question we had, letting people know what you need and letting people know what you're looking for, because, to your point, you might just need some small space, and it might be temporary, depending on maybe you just onboarded a new client or what have you, but really telling people what you're looking for, what you need. So as you network and connect here today, I hope each of you, along with your introduction and telling people what you do, more importantly, you're telling them what you need. I'd rather know what you need. I can find out what you do later, right? And I'll figure that out. but tell me what you need. And there might be, especially in this forum, and there's a lot of people here that have a lot of power and can really transform your business. And, you know, I was a testament to it just right before the panel started. There was a couple of really great, fruitful connections that were made. So remember to tell people what you need. Anybody else want to add to that?
I'd like to ask, how many people here are in the trucking industry? Raise your hands. That's awesome. And how many people want to get into the trucking industry? Okay, just curious to see what the audience looked like. You know, the pandemic brought trucking to the forefront. And so there's a lot of, as you know, there's a lot of resources out there that have been made available for people looking to come into the industry now. And so GHTA, we host monthly lunch and learns. We do network events. We have our signature event, Trucking Tuesday that we have once a month. Excuse me. And so there's opportunities that have become available for those looking to get into the industry. So just curious how many people here are in the industry, and just want to thank you guys for what you do, because I tell everybody everything we buy has been on a truck at some point. So it's a very important industry, and so thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Liz. You know, I want to stick on the same topic. I really feel like one of the reasons warehousing demand has gone up, pandemic, e-commerce, to your point earlier with last mile, that has really accelerated the demand, and e-commerce has really changed throughout just the last couple of years. So I want to ask Tiffany, you know, when it comes to third-party logistics support for these small to mid-sized e-commerce business, especially in their growth phase, can you tell me how effective that third-party logistics can be?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ship Black, one of our taglines is we help keep your numbers out of the red and in the black. You know, and I always say why fail first. You know, going and seeking the expertise that you need in your business. It was very eye-opening for me to leave the United States Postal Service and realize that a lot of people didn't even know how much a stamp was. They knew nothing about postage. They knew even less about how to pack an item to prepare for shipping. And I was just clueless. I guess I was in a bubble for 20 years. I thought everyone knew. And it wasn't until people were coming to my retail counter and they were selling stuff online. I'll just give an example. In the pandemic, a young guy, he sold a pair of shoes, a Jordan shoes or something. He wore size 14, so of course he has, you know, the shoes are big. And I'm going to say he sold them for $60. But when he came to the counter to ship them, the postage is almost $20 because of the weight of the shoe and the size. Dim weight. That's how you get your postage, dimensions, and then the weight of the package. And he was like, I shouldn't have even sold them. I needed to have this amount of money. People just don't think. They don't know. And I've seen that play out over and over again at my retail counter during the pandemic, because people were scrounging for money, right? They were selling different things, whether they were hand making things to sell or they were just selling items in their homes to get money. And that's when I really developed just the passion to educate the community that I was in. And now it's just actually, you know, went out, you know, further than that. And now I'm doing training. I have a registered apprenticeship program with the Department of Labor, and really wanting to take my training aspirations to another level. But it's just the lack. You know, I want to educate because I see the lack. And so when you talk about small businesses, shipping is not free. Small businesses can't take the hit. Amazon loses money on shipping. Amazon doesn't make its money off of shipping. Amazon is a web-based business. You know, that's where they make their money at. And so small businesses always want to mirror that, and they can't afford to. People and consumers, I'm a consumer. I pay for what I want. If I want your item and I want it tomorrow, I'm going to buy your item and I'm going to pay for you to send it to me tomorrow. That's it. Don't be afraid to charge postage. Small businesses can't take the hit, and give yourself room to grow and scale. And when your numbers come in the black and you can afford to give some free shipping and you can afford to give some discounts and you can afford to do those things, then do them. But until you get there, don't starve your business trying to keep up with trends, because the trends aren't realistic. You know, different businesses can give free shipping. It depends on what their margins is on their products. If you don't have a product and you didn't buy it at a good margin, you can't do it. Free shipping, you won't make money. So you're just buying products and selling products for zero profit. You know, you have to be realistic. And that's where I come in at with my Ship Black University.
Thank you for the insight. I have like a little corner in my closet full of stuff that I want to return, but I just don't know how. So to your point earlier.
Exactly. Exactly. There's help, Priscilla.
I'm going to bring it to you, Tiffany. So, you know, along those same lines, I want to start with Rebecca on this next question. You know, it's rapidly changing market. You know, you talked about industry trends, especially in logistics, right? Rebecca, what advice do you have on strategies that business owners should employ, you know, being flexible, and they should employ these strategies within their operations to accommodate these shifts in consumer demands?
Well, we're going back to our previous comments. The demand is definitely something that you need to study. I know that we may get overwhelmed with our day-to-day operations, and you're just maybe just flying off the seat of your pants, as they say. You wake up in the morning, you look at your orders, you see what your daily revenues are going to be, but you're not really looking for next week or the following month or the next quarter. So when you're an entrepreneur and you definitely are starting out, and as she mentioned, do not pay for that shipping. Shipping is not free. Because I work in a larger scale, our shipping can go up to $10,000 for just one trip based on what I'm moving. I could be moving a container full of tennis shoes, or I could be moving an excavator on one of our Landau trailers that's going to Mississippi or something. So depending on what the market is and who your customer revenues are, it is really important for you to study and be educated in what your commodity is and who your customers are. Do you want to start small? If you're not doing well with your own personal finances, and you know you're struggling and you're looking for something, I've heard the term use an angle. There are no angles in entrepreneurship at all. They do not exist. Those are absolutely failures. Do not base your dreams on angles. You base your dreams on facts. You need a business plan, and you need to execute that business plan. And when you're developing that business plan, you have to put on there from the very beginning, even if you have to start from the moment you wake up in the morning and start detailing your day on what that's going to consist of. What research are you going to do today? Who are the customers that are you going to be looking for? What is the trend right now? What is moving? And that it will base your success. You just can't get up in the morning and start looking at your emails wondering, okay, well, let's see who ordered what, when, and where. Because that's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you through today. But is that really what we want as an entrepreneur? We want a vision. We want to execute a vision, and we need to do the research to do it. There was a word that I learned this summer was due diligence. And that's something that you really have to concentrate on as an entrepreneur. Do your research. And then what we just talked about, the strategies will come into play. You will start strategizing to make your business plan possible.
That's awesome.
I was just gonna say, don't be like me. When my husband and I started our transportation company in 2018, we followed the internet gurus, the trucking gurus that say, hey, you can make $100,000 in 3 weeks or whatever the number was. And so, yeah, we was like, okay, we bought the course, thought we knew what we were doing, jumped out there, and I promise you we probably made every mistake that you can make in the book. So many mistakes that we wrote an ebook on what not to do. Because it's easy to get out to listen to all of the hoopla about the money in trucking, the money in transportation. But just like Rebecca says, if you don't have a plan, then you're gonna fail. And so, by the grace of God, we did not lose our company, but you have to have a plan. And then you have to go. There are resources out there. There are free resources, SBA, GSA. I mean, it's so many resources. And, because of the pandemic, I was able to slow down and really start doing my research, which we should have done at the beginning. But, 2 years in, then I really had the time. But that was after, hiring bad drivers. Buying a truck that we probably should have left at the lot. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to really be strategic when getting into this industry, and then and just really, like she said, doing due diligence, and hopefully, you won't make the mistakes that we made, and it won't take as long to scale. But yeah, make sure you do your homework.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback right off of it with the due diligence, and me and Katrina joke about this now. I didn't mention the transportation side, and my husband we've been in trucking for over 20 years as well, and doing your due diligence. If someone tell you they're making $100,000 in trucking, run. You shouldn't be making way more, and that's where you do your due diligence. And so I don't want to follow someone that tells me that I'm going to make $100,000 a year in trucking. Absolutely not. I know what you should be making per truck, okay? If you do your due diligence, you know how much money you should make per truck. And so if you want to follow someone that says you can make $100,000 in trucking, run, because they're not doing something right, okay? Because you should make way more money in trucking than $100,000 a year. Over half of that probably is in fuel, so really, really know and understand the industry. If you want to get in logistics, do your due diligence. What should you make? What's the average? And then, just not an overall. If we make, our most successful year of making, $300,000 or $400,000, what does that actually look like as far as take home? How much of that is going to go to maintenance? How much is that going to go to fuel? The fuel prices are just starting to come back down. You have to know and understand those things and not get caught up in the numbers and get caught up in someone tell you I can make this much money in a day. Why? How long have you been in trucking? Because what Liz is saying, I'm not going to put my $2 million piece of equipment, I'm not going to give it to you with 3 months of experience driving. You're not going to take it. And so you have to understand, how can you mimic these things? The best thing for you to do is do your due diligence, get experience. Experience matters. Get your education. If you want to get a trucking business, get your CDL. Go to the CDL training. If you want to do these things, get boots on the ground so you can know your business from all angles. And then you can understand how your drivers actually feel. You can understand how much money to allocate if you're paying that driver on the road. You can understand that. You know why? Because you've been through the trenches. And so with my husband being in trucking, we really have a great, a different overview. And that's why we're teaching classes now, Intro to Trucking. And we're talking to individuals who really want to do trucking. And he tell them, we talk about the stories of, driving in the snow and on the mountains and things like that. Is this a business that you really want to get into? And if you really do want to get into that things, and then you can go to the next level. So I just want to echo what the lady said, that due diligence is just so important.
Thank you, Tiffany. And Thank you all for your insight and comments. I do want to, we have a couple of minutes, and so I want to make sure that we leave time for any questions that anybody in the audience might have. And then I also want to leave a couple of minutes at the end for you guys to come up and meet any of our panelists if you want to collect contact information or what have you. So first I'll ask, are there any questions from the audience? Yes, hi.
As a matter of fact, because you brought that up, that is a lot of freight that is hanging out there at the Panama Canal. That is a freshwater canal, if you're not familiar with it. So, and the lake that furnishes the water for the canal is drying up. It's just plain and simple. So there are huge delays. A lot of our warehouses are partially empty because we have freight coming, but it's not here yet, and it's not coming anytime soon. And so what that does, it increases the rate for the shipping, because now we're having to do piecemealing, and these people are having to order their stuff from overseas and get them air freighted over here because the lead time alone has dragged on. Right, and about the rail, I will check in on that because one of our warehouses has rail access. So I don't have an answer for you, but we come with me afterwards, and I'll get your information, and I'll get an answer for you on that end.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hi.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to just put some pins on a whole bunch of stuff that we have coming up. Right now, we're in the process of acquisitioning another warehouse because we are expanding into refrigerated freight. And again, when I talked about earlier about diversity, once you get established, once you're in the black, once you're able to accommodate other needs, because that's basically what our entrepreneurship panel is about, right? The needs. What is your need? As Priscilla said, what is your need? And that's how we base our business, is on the need. So right now we don't offer warehousing and refrigerated storage. Right now we don't do reefer trailers. But that's another revenue stream that we're doing. So that's coming up the pipeline. Along with that, we are also solarizing our 10 acres that we have to get it prepared for EVs, for additional income coming in. So strategies and planning, it does not stop with what you're doing today. You have to look at legacy. You have to look in the forefront. And most importantly, I'm going to just touch on this real quick. Your papers have to be in order. If you don't have a CPA, you don't have an accountant, you don't have QuickBooks or some type of accounting form, all these strategies and plans are not going to go anywhere unless you have your papers ready.
And to Rebecca's point, sharing those strategies with your key partners, every time I see Rebecca, she's telling me what's coming up. So her banking team can prepare for that, right? And we can keep that on our radar, and we can talk through it, and we can develop a strategy that's going to help her get there. And so those are really key things as business owners. And I really appreciate that question, because we are coming up at end of year, and there are things that are coming in place in 24. And a lot of business owners, unfortunately, when you are trying to get through today instead of thriving today for a better tomorrow, that's something that's lacking, and it could be detrimental to the business. So thanks for the question.
I just want to touch on the due diligence really quick and how important that is. I'm a numbers person, and so in trucking, 96% of the trucking industry has less than 6 trucks. The reason for that is because they're taught how to drive a truck, but not how to run a business. And so I always encourage them to get the CPA, get that paperwork in order. It's the difference between having 2 trucks and growing to over 100 trucks or staying at that 2 trucks level. So again, we can't talk about that enough. It's so important for y'all to get the resources, utilize those resources available for y'all, and get your paperwork straight.
Any other? Yes, sir.
I'm going to also do research on that. Especially when it comes to shopping, don't be afraid to shop for insurance. We are inherently lazy. A lot of the insurance companies that have an A at the beginning of their name, those are the guys that are getting the phone calls. And then as soon as you get that number, you're going to go ahead and say, okay. But I'm going to tell you here, those guys with the A's, they're getting a lot of phone calls. They're going to be charging premium prices because they know how lazy we are. I'm just going to put that out there. So you need to shop for your insurances. I have an insurance broker that he handles all my GLs, and he does do the shopping. I also have a great broker for our health insurance because another thing, as we talk about insurance, you have to take care of your people. Your people are your number one priority, your employees. And if you don't have employees, you need to start getting employees because you're not going to grow without them. I'm just going to tell you this. You're holding on to everything, you're hoarding everything for yourself, and you're robbing yourself from success. So again, we get the best health care for all of our employees. We get additional life insurance for them. We get all the benefits, good teeth, keep our employees at the office instead of being at home with a toothache. I mean, it's really important to invest in your people. I highly suggest you get an insurance broker or an insurance agent. Be friends with them. Go out to eat with them. Share with them your business strategies, your plans, and your dreams. Find out what kind of dog he has. You have to build that relationship because I'm going to tell you, when you make that phone call and you say, hey, I just got an opportunity for this warehouse. I need my binder today. They're going to say, well, I don't know who you are. You're going to have to fill out a ton of paperwork just to get quotes. And then, where are you? You miss out on that opportunity. I call my insurance broker today. He has my certificates this afternoon because he knows me. We have lunch. We have a communion. So it's really important, the insurance.
Thank you. Sorry, yeah. I saw Dr. PJ here. She doesn't play with time. And I do see a couple more people have questions. What I'm going to do, because I think there's something right behind us that's coming in, and I don't want to get them behind schedule. So if you'd like to talk to any of these ladies or even myself, we'll be over here for a few more minutes, and feel free to come up. Oh, yeah, and we have tables. So Greater Houston Trucking Association is in room 372. I have a table at Texas Capitals in 371. So is Ship Black and Katrina. We're in 371, and you're at the GHTA table? Yeah, she's at the Trucking Association table as well in 372. So come look for us. But we'll stay up here for a few more minutes in case you need to leave, so you can come connect with us now. But you're more than welcome to stop by our table and meet our teams. Thank you. Can we take a picture real quick before we start? Tiffany, let's take a picture real quick. Okay. Right here? The podium's in the way. Oh, let's shift over. Yeah.
Get in there, Dr. PJ.
Yes, come on.
In the middle. Money green. Oh, that's gorgeous. Fantastic.
Thank you. HGAC? I'm good. Priscilla Picasso, nice to meet you.
All right, everyone, the next workshop that's coming up in about 5 minutes is about doing business nationwide through cooperative purchasing. Houston Galveston Area Council is the presenter.
Trying to find jobs. You know what? So is this your first time here at
doing today? Can we have the first slide, please? Okay. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, they're putting up a slide. Good morning, everybody. If you have a moment, can you please take your seats? Thank you, appreciate it. We're going to start in about 2 minutes. Good morning. How are we all doing today? Wonderful. My name is Santosh Puttappa. I am the Outreach and Business Information Manager at Houston Galveston Area Council. We have various programs under Council of Government. Some of these which we'll be talking about it today. We will let everybody over here speak about the programs, respective programs, and we will open it up for some questions that you guys might have. So we'll take it from there. So how many of you all know about the HGAC BUY program here? Looks like that'll change after this event over here. Okay, HGAC BUY stands for Helping Governments Across the Country Buy. We are a nationwide cooperative purchasing program. What does cooperative purchasing program stand for? So let's assume any of the government entities wants to procure some of the products or services, they have to go out for a bid or an RFP. So it's a lot of time-consuming process for them. They have to advertise those bids. They have to evaluate the vendors, and still might not get relevant exposure for their bid participation or an RFP participation. So what we do over here is, as a unit of local government, as well as a nationwide cooperative purchasing program, we solicit all those bids or RFPs across the United States for a nationwide program for other government entities, which are almost close to about 9,000 government entities across the United States are using this program. So we have various products and categories that we offer. So we have been in business for almost close to about 45 years now. Next slide, please. So these are some of the current contracts that we have. So if your entities offer any of these contracts, ranging from grounds and turf equipment, or tractors, lawnmowers, or temporary staffing service, or solar panels and video surveillances, fire trucks or equipments and other so forth and so on. We have almost close to about 40 different contract categories that you guys can participate on. So when you apply, you can go to hgacbuy.org, and you'll find under that as bid notices. And you can find, if you see any of the new solicitations and upcoming solicitations that you think you can offer those solutions over there, you can participate in that RFP. And if you get an award, it's a multi-award contract. So what happens is, when you get an award, so you are providing these functionalities or your services or your products to across various member governments that are ISDs, independent school districts, cities, local governments, or voluntary fire departments, or even nonprofit agencies that perform government functions are eligible to become a member. It's free for them to become a member, so they can use this program without going for an additional RFP process. That makes it easy for them. So when it makes it easy for them, it will also make it easy for you guys. So we are here to help the small businesses or medium-sized or large businesses to go not just local, but national level. Since these contracts offer national level exposure, you will be benefited in participating in this program. We have various criteria, various training programs that we offer at our agency. So you can contact us and let us know, saying that, okay, hey, we provide this particular product or services, and how do we become a contractor? And we can help you out. So next slide, please. So we have other programs called as HGAC Energy. So we have further HGAC Energy, and we have Loan Development Corporation over here. My colleagues, Isaac and Omar, will talk more about it. I'm here in particular to talk about HGAC BUY program and the HGAC Energy. HGAC Energy is similar cooperative purchasing that is local over here, that we help other government entities to procure electricity through retail electric providers. So it's the same process where they competitively, all the contracts are competitively procured, that we publish the RFPs, everything as such, and they'll be able to further procure this electricity through a contracting vehicle as such. So over here with HGAC Buy and the energy program, we are here to help you guys as a small business to succeed and become a bigger business. So if at all you guys have any kind of questions or as such, like I said before, please feel free to contact us, and we'll help you out in any way that we can to further provide information as such. I'll pass on the mic to Isaac over here. So he will be able to talk to you guys about the Loan Development Corporation, as well as the Gulf Coast Economic Development District. If you guys have any questions at all for HGAC Buy, and we will open up the questions at the end of the session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Santosh. I know the majority is going to be small business owners or aspiring entrepreneurs. Are there any government entities here? Just making sure. Okay. So again, I represent, well, first, next slide, please. There we go. So I represent our small business financing program. We also actually do provide some loans to local governments, so I just wanted to make sure that there weren't any here, so I can just avoid that part. So a great thing about our cooperative purchasing group, about HGAC Buy, is that we also have a lending arm, and so that's what I'm here to talk about. So with all that growth, right, because you've been participating with HGAC Buy, you've been tapping into our network of local governments, you've been, fulfilling all your orders, you might find yourself in a position where you're ready to grow. What does that mean? Grow into a larger space, just being able to handle larger projects. You want to hire on some additional employees to handle those projects. You need some working capital to purchase more inventory, more materials, new equipment, larger equipment. We're able to finance a lot of that, a lot of that. I'll basically say all of it, but of course, you never want to say 100%. So we can finance 99% of what you're looking for. And we finance everything from real estate to just working capital for personnel costs. So if you're a manufacturing company or whatever you're doing, but you need a space to store your products, we can help finance that. And we'll finance the land, the purchasing of the land, the purchasing of the building, the construction of the building. And then for the working capital piece, and I don't want to go into details between what's the difference, but we can finance equipment. Depending on the size of equipment, you can tap into some larger dollar amounts, longer range loans, up to 25-year rates. If it's working capital, it can be 10 years or less. I think the smallest loan I've done in the past couple of years was $6,000. The largest working capital loan I've done was $300,000. Real estate can go up to $10 million. So we really cover a wide gambit. You can be a tax servicing company working out of your home, and you just want to purchase the latest software, new computer systems. We can help finance that. You could I don't know if y'all were here for the trucking conversation before here, but you can be an owner-operator operating your own truck, and you've been successful, and you follow their guidance, and you're ready to purchase a new truck, or you're ready to purchase some real estate so you can park your truck and put in a mechanic shop, or even a truck wash. I was surprised to learn about that one, just how lucrative a trucking washing company could be. We can finance that property, and all of that is doable at extremely low interest rates and long loan maturity terms. We do the majority of our lending through the Small Business Administration, and so that allows us to utilize their fixed interest rates for up to 25 years. Not only is it a favorable loan term, it's also a lower equity injection requirement. If you've ever gone to a traditional lender, so like your banks, usually they'll If they approve you, it'll be a higher interest rate and then probably a 20% equity injection, 20% down payment. Ours is as low as 10%. And so that's also a very key point that I like to point out. And again, we finance everything from large real estate projects to smaller inventory projects. Another awesome opportunity that we've just recently started exploring and are happy to do is we can potentially approve you for a loan based off of a contract that you were awarded. So you don't have necessarily the cash in your bank account, in your business bank account, to fulfill an order, and so you're reluctant to apply to a certain bid. You can potentially apply for that bid if you win the contract, apply through our program, and receive funding based off of that contract amount. So now you open the doors to what are the possibilities as to what you can apply for, because you know that you'll be able to get approved for a working capital loan through us, of course, based off of that contract bid. And so that's really our programs in a nutshell. I know we're going to be here asking questions or answering questions, and so I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty, but I would be happy to talk to y'all afterwards, one-on-one, or just answer the questions during the Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, I figured going last, right? You kind of save best for last kind of thing, but I was set up. We're supposed to end at 10:55. What time is it, Eula? So I have less than 7 minutes because we're supposed to have questions, right? And so how do I talk about all of this stuff in about 3.5 minutes? I don't know, but I guess I'll just talk to you guys, and I'm pretty interactive. I'm Omar Fortune with Houston Galveston Area Council. I manage our business and economic development team. And what does that mean to you? How many of you guys are small business owners? Fantastic. If you're not an owner, do you work for a small business? Okay, fantastic. So that's pretty much 100% of the room. When it comes to economic development, it really is about building and creating wealth in communities. And a lot of that is done through our small businesses. Across the US, about 50% of all businesses are small businesses, and they employ about 50% of the population too. Here in Houston, we have about 100,000 small businesses, and again, about 50% of all employees are employed at small businesses. Our gross domestic product for Houston, our GDP, right, like how much we're worth, you're talking about $333 billion is our GDP here in Houston. If we were our own country, we'd be like 28th ranked. So there's a lot of economic activity that's happening, and a lot of that is happening as a result of the small businesses. So at HGAC, we really work with communities and our small business community in particular to make sure that you guys are growing and that you are able to start and thrive within your businesses. So we talked a lot about HGAC Buy and what they can do to help with that, our local development corporation and how they can help you finance your business. But on the backside of that, we're also doing a lot of work with our small business resource organizations like OBO and Small Business Development Center and SBA and a number of others, where we formed a collaborative to really help support your businesses when it comes to technical assistance and marketing services and legal services and access to capital, access to procurement. We're really putting ourselves together in a strategic way so that way you don't have to go to all of these different entities for help and service. It's a very seamless process. We're working on developing a technology platform where you can interface with all of these different organizations as a one-stop shop. It's still a ways off, but you will be the first to know when that is available. Think LinkedIn from social media, right? Kind of building a community of practice where you can learn from other businesses. Meets Zoom, where you can interact directly with mentors and coaches through a virtual interface. Meets other types of technology all in one space. So we're working on that. And broadband is another key thing that we're working on. In Houston, it's not a major issue. Most of Houston is connected. As you get outside, we serve a 13-county area. So as you get outside of Houston into some of our rural communities, that becomes a more pronounced need. But there are pockets within Houston, within underserved and marginalized communities that lack high-speed internet access, whether it's infrastructure or it's affordability or equipment, things like that. We're able to kind of help with that. Texas received about $3.3 billion to expand broadband and high-speed internet access. And so if your small business is not connected to the internet and you're not taking advantage of marketing your business through the internet, through social media, you're missing out on a huge market segment. And so we're trying to work on bringing broadband access, not just to residents, but to small businesses too. So I hope I did okay there. Man. All right, so with that, I'm gonna wrap that up. Any questions for Isaac, Santosh, or myself regarding cooperative purchasing or loans or anything like that? Next slide. Oh, I didn't. No, in the back.
So that's an excellent question, in fact. So we are a unit of local government. Like we said, Houston Galveston Area Council, it's a council of government. However, under that, we have a program called HGAC Buy. With this cooperative purchasing, it is a partly vendor-funded program. So that being said, there are any of the contracts, if anybody procures through this contracting vehicle, we charge 2% on the purchase order, or if it is small vehicles, or if it is a fire truck or a motor vehicle, it's a flat fee of $2,000 to sometimes, it is, if it is a police car, it's $600 as such. So a flat fee of material of what the purchase amount is, this one. So all these are administrative fees that we charge in order for us to operate this small program. So we are already servicing 9,000 government entities across United States. Out of this, almost close to about $2 billion of products and services are sourced through these contracting vehicles. So it's partly, it's funded by the vendors like you guys. Yes, ma'am.
So if you want to have more like a line of credit, so maybe perhaps you don't want to utilize the financing amount just yet, but you want to maybe put your name in the hat to be able to have access to it when you're ready, is that a pre-approval process, or is that more of you have to go for the full loan and amount when you're ready to acquire it?
Short answer is we don't do lines of credits. But you can go ahead and start the application process and say, hey, look, I'm going to bid on this contract. Just want to go ahead and get started so that we can move quickly, get closer to the finish line before, you don't want to wait until the last second. On the application process, from you submitting the application to funds entering your account, about 2 to 3 months. And it can be shorter than that, but that usually depends on receiving the documents in a timely fashion and whatnot. So it can be as fast as 4 or 5 weeks. But if you're going to schedule this out, I wouldn't plan on that. Mm-hmm.
All right, so contact information is up on the slide. This is our management team here if you needed to reach out to any of us directly. Next slide. Oh, could you go back one slide? Sorry. Yep. And next slide. And then if you needed to connect directly with our programs, our program pages, scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to our LinkedIn pages. And with that, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Or target audience, from what keeps them up at night to where they shop to how do they find their way to your website with ease. Sometimes, for example, when you click on this link, there's only 2 touch points for you to get to the interactive piece of the website. Sometimes we go to people's website and it's like 6 or 7. It's like, I'm confused, I don't want to be here anymore. And so we help you figure out how to make those experiences as easy as possible for your clients. So feel free to zoom in on scan the QR code and take part in the experience. We look forward to awarding you prizes.
Amazon? Hey, Jed, you know where our Amazon folks are? Come on up. Okay. Where are they at? They're here? Yeah. Okay, y'all want to come up?
Did you get your presentation to the, okay. All right. I'm going to give an introduction. If you want to go in the back, we'll get that set up. All right. I'm back. I wanted to just kind of kick off this conversation. We have been, the city, we've been talking with Amazon folks, Amazon business for a while now, and looking at how can we expand. The city does a little bit of business on Amazon now. But in a lot of the conversations when they would come to me and they'd say, hey, Jed, how can we as Amazon do more business with the city of Houston? I said, we need to figure out how we engaged with our certified firms, right? If we can't do that, I'm not interested. And so we have really been, it's probably been a good couple years. Tanya in the back, who's with Amazon, is shaking her head yes. That we've been talking and we've been saying, how can we reach out and look for greater opportunities? And so I wanted them to come in here at this Meet the Buyer and take an opportunity to talk about some of the programs that Amazon has for small business, for disadvantaged businesses, and what they can offer, and then how, if you are interested, how you can get on their platform. And so they're going to walk through some of that. As they're explaining some of that, let me tell you, if we expand our role in the city of Houston in doing more with Amazon, more purchasing, some of the things we can do, so the city does have a business account now, and what that means for us is we can set up controls on what our city buyers are looking at, what they're trying to purchase. So if we had a greater presence of certified firms on the Amazon platform, just for the city of Houston, I could say when these departments search for these kind of commodities, list certified firms first. Or I can say only show options for certified firms. So there are ways and tools, and our Amazon partners here can talk more about those tools, but what I wanted you to hear from me is from our end that this is something that if we move this forward, and a lot of it's going to depend upon if those of you here and others of our certified firms want to take advantage of this opportunity, then I think we can really create something here as another avenue for bringing business for the city and for you all. But I wanted you to know that we have those tools available for us, and we could set up those criteria from a city perspective on where we're driving business as people look and try to utilize that tool, and then we get some of the great efficiencies that come with their platform. And so with that, I'm gonna pass it to Tanya here, and for Amazon to kind of walk through some of their programs and what this would look like.
And is it up? We are getting, is it on? Yeah. We're getting very close to getting the presentation up. But in the meantime, what I will say is one of the reasons that we are working with the city, and we've also worked with the county and some other health organizations, like a lot of the large civic organizations here in the area, to partner with them, because when you're a small city, when you're a big city with maybe, 13,000 employees or so, with maybe some access to buying, as you can imagine, and at the same time you have a lot of small businesses that want to sell to the city. Again, let's say I'll throw numbers out there and pretend it's 80,000 businesses who want to sell to 13,000 employees, and if you think of a big strategic organization trying to say, hey, we want to buy from a local, small, diverse business, go look through those 85,000 websites and see which ones. It makes it very complicated, and so what we've created is a way to build resources where they can say, our criteria is buying local. Maybe it's from a black-owned business, maybe it's from a woman-owned business or Hispanic-owned business in a certain zip code or market. And so now if they go into Amazon as a platform and say, I want to buy this microphone, and we've put these criteria in place, what would happen is anybody who sells that in the local market, so within the city of Houston proper, that's a small-owned business or that's a woman-owned business that sells that product, would be highlighted for them at the top to say, hey, these are all the businesses that sell this product that fit your criteria. So it actually creates more opportunity to work with the city and to be seen by their employees when we partner in that way. So the certification process is there on your end with the city, but on our end, you're able to put in all of your certifications, not just one. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the slides. But I wanted to, in addition to not only talk about what our capabilities are, I wanted to do a peer by peer, so you know it's true. What does it mean to sell on Amazon from somebody right here in the city of Houston that is a woman-owned business? He doesn't look like a woman today. He's one of the employees at this seller. But I wanted to bring him on, and we'll have him talk in the last few minutes of our presentation to actually tell you what the process looked like for them, what their experience has been selling on Amazon, why they either have found success or not found success, what would they do differently, those types of things, okay? So to begin, my name is Tanya San Miguel Bounds. I am a senior sales leader at Amazon Business. Amazon obviously is a tentacle, or I like to call it an octopus of a lot of types of businesses. Our arm is the business-to-business access of Amazon. And if we can go to the next slide, before we even start our presentation, what we're going to talk about today is like, what is Amazon Business? Who's ever heard of Amazon Business before? Great, we have a good group of you who know who Amazon Business is. Who's ever bought on Amazon before? I used to say that I bought so much at Amazon, they practically kept my paycheck, so I might as well work for them. And that's how I ended up here. So we'll talk about, like, what is the difference? Why come to Amazon Business? Why should you sell on the Amazon storefront? How to get started? How do you list your products? Because a lot of times it's like, great, I'd love to sell on Amazon. I don't know what to do, right? I'm registered, now what, right? We'll talk about how to deliver these products. What are your opportunities for growth inside our marketplace, and then what are some additional resources that you can leverage on your own time to learn how to get successful within Amazon. Before I get started, though, I kind of wanted to show a video. If you go to the next slide. This one is not here, it's in the city of Miami, but it gives you an idea of like, what does it look like when we sell on Amazon and what vendors are saying from our marketplace. And what I'd love to do this time next year is have our own version of that here in Houston. So if you can go back and play that video. And never mind about that part. You get the gist, but you're going to have the live version of that here in Houston. I'd love to see that really expand with Amazon in the next year, so that the city of Houston has a really great successful story that they can share about how they've helped small, diverse businesses grow with the city, okay? So let's talk about what Amazon Business is. In 2016, I've been at Amazon since 2017, so almost since the infancy, but in 2016, what we recognized is that a lot of people were buying on Amazon on their personal accounts for businesses. There's not a lot of the same things. The way you buy at home is not necessarily the way organizations want to buy. And that kind of opened the door for us to come up with a new innovation around how do we give you the same experience on Amazon, to buy for your business as you do at home, you know, the fast, convenient, price competitive, all the things that you love about Amazon. How do we create that for an organization with the additional tools that actual businesses need, like compliance, risk management, controls, right? There's a lot of other things, not only price competitive, but how do you think about being socially responsible? Like there's so many other things that businesses, organizations need that maybe you don't think about at home. So that's where Amazon Business came to be. And we don't have a clicker here, right? Where I can click myself. I'm just going to say next slide quite a bit. Go to the next slide. Okay, there you go. So what you can see here is that businesses and organizations of all sizes have different needs, and that's where Amazon Business comes to play. We'll move on to the next slide. I want to give our vendor some time to talk, so I'm going to go through this a little fast and get to the really important juice. Okay, so what you'll see here is that more than 5 million business customers buy from us at Amazon. Out of those, 80 of the top Fortune 100 businesses. So this is one of the reasons, like, you want to be seen. How many of you guys here sell to 80 of the top 100 Fortune 100 businesses? It's not easy to create your own storefront, then create your, get the salespeople, the inventory. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens in a business to try to sell to a Fortune 100. We sell to 80 of the top Fortune 100s. We sell to 92 of the largest hospital systems, 90 of the most populous governments. Houston is obviously a populous government. We sell to Harris County, UT Health, Spring ISD. There's a lot of local organizations that are public sector that we sell to through our Amazon Business. And you can see under it, faith-based, 28,000 faith-based organizations or nonprofit, over 45 states out of the 50. So ultimately, we have a great reach. In addition to that, we sell in the United States, Canada. You can see there, United Kingdom. If you go to the next slide, it tells you, here's a kind of a list of some of the customers that we sell into. All right. So as you look at this list, you might say, yep, I don't have access to that vendor, that business. I don't have access to that business. And so you think about when you work through the Amazon Marketplace, it opens up your opportunities to all of our customers. It's not to just one customer, although today we're here talking about how do you sell to the city. By jumping onto the marketplace on Amazon, you end up selling to all of our customers, and we'll talk about what that looks like next. What we've also learned from our customers is that 93% of our decision makers have prioritized buying in a socially responsible way. All right? What that means is that they want to buy local. They want to buy through small businesses, through diverse businesses. They want to help their communities grow as they leverage their spend. So why should you sell on Amazon now that you know what we do? let's go to the next slide. We've already a little bit addressed that we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of customers on Amazon.com. Even when I asked the question, who here has purchased on Amazon, I think I saw about 100% consensus. Everybody purchases on Amazon in some way. In addition to the hundreds of millions that we have on Amazon.com, we have over 6 million businesses that buy on Amazon Business. That is a huge portion of customers that gives you that you get access to when you sell through Amazon. So what I was saying here is, and this is pretty cool, you immediately, by registering on Amazon, have access to our storefront for Amazon America, Mexico, and Canada. So you just think all the Americas, okay? In addition, we have Amazon storefronts all over the world, and you can see here some of the countries that we're in. What you'll see with our inventory access or our inventory data is that we give you visibility into where is your product. Where in the world is your product popular? Who's buying it? And that kind of gives you some visibility into how do you think about your business in the future, right? Today I might just sell in Houston, but I may notice that Mexico buys a lot of my products. So maybe I want to open up a storefront in Mexico. Maybe it's in China. Maybe it's in India. So it literally gives you abilities to start to think about how do I expand my business and grow faster. So one of the cool things that we love to talk about is that Amazon is a big beast. Yes, it is. Everybody tells me, anytime I meet somebody new and they learn I work at Amazon, it's like, oh, Amazon sells everything everywhere all the time. Yes, that's true. The cool part of that is that 60% of our sales actually are driven through small businesses. Amazon is super socially responsible in that the best way to partner with our customers is to help you grow. So when we bring in small businesses, our goal is to help you be successful. And so 60% of our stuff comes from companies just like yours. So what does that mean? For our independent sellers, these are some mind-blowing numbers. Our independent sellers sold 4.1 billion products last year. Not million, billion. I think it was 17,000 SKUs a second or something ridiculous. Anybody here selling 17,000 SKUs a second? I wish I was. So 4.1 billion products in a year and averaged more than $230,000 per business, okay? Now, why is that important? Because some businesses sell a lot, some businesses sell a little, but on average, it's $230,000 per business. And that means with one item, you have the controls to either sell one SKU. In fact, I recently spoke to a vendor who only sells some weird earplugs. And these earplugs sold 20,000 last month at $13.99. So he's like, that's all I want to sell is just the one earplug. So you have that access to sell one item or lots of items, which CPG will talk about. So how do we get started? That's probably the question of the hour. How do you do this? What does that mean? So let's talk a little bit more about that. Selling on Amazon is super, super, super easy. We make it easy. I hear a lot of times when I'm talking to small businesses who want to sell to cities and county organizations that it can be a bit of a challenge. There's a lot of documentation, a lot of work that has to happen. Amazon, that we want to help them help you, and we want to help you help them. So we've made it very, very simple. And so how do you do that? First things first, you want to go register an account. It is on Amazon.com/sell B2B. That's first things first, okay? Then you want to register your professional selling account on Amazon, which is about $39.99. What I love about that is that it creates an equal playing field for all businesses. Whether you are a ginormous business selling out there and now you want to sell on Amazon, or you're a very small business, there's no leverage that they have over you because everybody pays the same fee, okay? So that gives you a lot of access to, again, creating your own success depending on how you want to, what you want to sell, how do you want to sell, and again, I'll let CPG talk a little bit more about that. So then you set up your products, and we're going to talk about what does that mean, how does that look. You create a business profile. This is one of the most important things you do when you register your account. Your business profile is your storefront, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But essentially, and we're going to show you what that looks like. What do customers see when you register, okay? But you're going to want to create a business profile, which is where you talk to your customers. And then you're going to start selling and reaching millions of customers already on Amazon. Boom, problem solved. Now, what you're going to need in order to do that is, well, you need a bank account because we need to pay you in some way. So you need a routing number and a bank account, a chargeable credit card, a government-issued national ID, your tax information, and your phone number. Those are the basic qualifications to get registered onto an Amazon business account. And if we go to the next slide, what you'll get immediately once you've registered is called a Seller Central account. This is your business. This is the area where everything is given to you. We will provide you, how do you track your inventory? Where should your inventory be? Which warehouse do we want to have it sitting at? It'll tell you, you know, when to update your listings. What pricing should you be selling at? How do you contact seller partners? I mean, there's everything you can think of in your Seller Central. This is where you're going to run your Amazon business account. Now, something that I like to always highlight is when you decide to sell on Amazon, it sounds like, oh, it's like I can put it up and then go to sleep. It isn't. This is not an opportunity for a side gig. This is an opportunity for a full-time job. And the reason for that is because we are selling every second 17,000 SKUs. So if you just think the amount of customers on our marketplace 24/7, right? This is not an area where you can like, I'll wait a week and return a question or customer service or look at my pricing. You need to be on this, okay? But definitely something to think about. So let's go to the next one. So to add your product, here's the beautiful part. A lot of times we think, oh my goodness, I need to now go create images and I need to go out and create descriptions and this is going to take a lot of work. No. The most beautiful part about Amazon is somebody's already out there selling something that you're trying to sell. Again, back if it's an earplug, we probably already have an image of an earplug. We probably already have a description. What you're going to come in and build is if it's something unique and new and no one else is selling it, definitely you're going to want to create that. But a lot of times you can go right into the search function and put in either the SKU or the description of what you're trying to sell, and you'll see a lot of forms on there that you can leverage. Okay, so let's keep going. In addition to that, you're going to get your product ID, your SKU, product title. All of that is already, these are things that you're going to need for your listing. I imagine when you're shopping on Amazon, you've already seen some of these items already in the description. It allows your customers to know exactly what they're going to go buy. And a lot of that is already in there again in the search functions of your Seller Central account when you put in the right keywords. So when to sell on Amazon? I get this question a lot. I'm thinking about selling on Amazon. I don't have an inventory yet. Can you tell me more? That is not the time to sell on Amazon. Once you put your listing up on Amazon, it's going to get seen. So you want to make sure you have some inventory, right? I would start on Amazon when you understand you have product ready to ship to your customers, and then you have the inventory and supply chain in place. Now this is where it's like really, really cool for all of you guys that are here wanting to work with the city. We have the ability, again, I mentioned earlier, the city might want to be buying something that's environmentally friendly, or it might be wanting to buy something from a Hispanic-owned business or a Black-owned business or a veteran-owned business. We have all the different types of certification. My recommendation is when you create your account, any certification that you have, upload it. If you upload it, it gives you more and more access to those filters that your buyers or your customers are looking for. So regardless of do you think it's important or not important, is it fully registered with the city or not registered with the city, upload your certificates if you have them. All of them, as many as you have. Moving on. So that's going to increase your business relevant selections. okay? In addition, you can see here, one of the cool things that we do is that we tell you, hey, we are recognizing that a lot of customers are looking for this one specific thing. If you can sell this specific thing and you upload it, it's going to give you access to more business. And when we do that and you have that product and can upload it, which is why you want to be in front of your account on a regular basis, we see a 45-time higher percentage of sales in your business. So not only are we saying, hey, upload what you want to upload as far as products that you want to sell, but we're going to provide you recommendations on items that we need people to sell, to give you an ability to sell more products and sell more business. So that part is what you would do to get yourself started. On the back end is, that's nice. I've done all that, but how do my customers find me? How do your 100 million plus customers, 6 million plus businesses find us? And you've heard me talk a little bit about the filtering process, but what does that look like? And why is how you set up your profile important? Let's talk about that. On the buying side, we have what we call guided buying policies. This is, remember when I said a city could have 13,000 employees that are all trying to buy something? How do you guide them to a certain product, a certain compliance tool piece of business? These are the tools that we use. We have the ability to, if you could go back to that original slide, yeah, right here. You can see here that at the highest level, which is the strategic procurement team, they can set inside their own Amazon account that they want to set selling policies or buying policies that say we want to prefer local sellers. That means I want to prefer them in City of Houston first. If nobody in the City of Houston is selling this item, maybe I want to look at all Harris County. If no one in Harris County is selling this product, maybe I just want to look in Texas, right? They have the ability to kind of filter up starting at the closest to them businesses, okay? In addition, you can see here they can prefer sellers. So let's say you have a really strong partnership with the City of Houston, and they want to buy your products through Amazon because of efficiencies, because of all the other ways that we are helping them leverage their account. But they want to do with you, they can actually go and prefer you as a highlighted item. When anything that you sell comes up to the top, says this item is preferred by your organization. And it's not just a city, it's any any private business, anybody who buys from Amazon. All right, in addition to that, you can see here, we talked about this already, it's like how are they filtering? You can see here all the certifications that they added. So, you know, whether it's a small business, it's a minority-owned business, Hispanic-owned business, woman-owned business, I mean, the list goes on. Hub certified, you name it, it's on here. Then that's one of the ways that they've created their filtered accounts. Now, it's important to understand that price matters, okay? Amazon is known for being competitive. A lot of times businesses, for the purpose of being more responsible socially, in other words, they want to buy for local, buy small, buy diverse, a lot of times they may be willing to pay more. But you want to be careful that you're not going over their market price. And we recommend anywhere between 5 to 20% as a max from the bottom cost that you see online, okay? That keeps you in the range of making sure that you're not being taken out of the buying opportunity because you're too high priced. All right, so this is what I was talking about with your profile. Why is your profile important? When somebody's buying on Amazon, they can click on the vendor that they're going to buy from, and they're going to see all of this information. And you can see on the right here, it's got all of the certifications that you have uploaded into your account. In addition to that, it's going to say, what does your service look like? Well, how many times do people order from you? Like this vendor has over 10,000 orders, and it's had a 99.47 service. Shipping time is great, right? So it's letting the customer know what your service is like when you sell on Amazon. In addition, you can see your story. That little blurb at the bottom, that's you telling your story. It could be where you started. It could be what you sell, why you sell it, what's your purpose. Like there's all kinds, you can put whatever you want out there, but what you're doing is communicating to me as a buyer why I should buy your product. So you've probably seen this internally on your own self when you're buying for yourself at home, where it says, hey, I'm trying to buy this case of paper, you're going to see, you've seen like, hey, this is the best price. Here's the place we recommend based on your filters. In addition to, though, on the right-hand side, it gives you all the other vendors and all the sellers that sell with credentials. So they have the ability to not only look at one, but they have ability to look at all of them. This is how they're going to find you. And then there's this one kind of, I always think is weird piece of like, all right, now I know how to put up my information and I know who's going to look at my information. How do I get my product to that customer, right? Through Amazon. There are two ways. One is called FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon. If anybody's leveraged the Prime buying, which is how most of our customers will buy, and you want to take that into consideration, most customers will filter through Prime because of their free shipping, their 2 days, their extra services that they get, and oftentimes they've bought a Prime membership, right? That is fulfilled by Amazon. It means that we're holding the inventory on your behalf and you're leveraging our customer service, our delivery, our everything, okay? That is one option. The second option you've probably seen when you've tried to purchase, where it's like, oh, it's gonna be a $5.95 shipping fee and it's coming from a seller direct to you. That is the other, which is fulfilled by merchant, okay? Those are the two ways. On the very first time that you do a fulfilled by Amazon, we're going to have you send it to the closest warehouse to you, okay? After that, we're going to see where does it sell? Where's the best place to have your product stored? Maybe you're here selling it in Houston, but Houston's not buying as much. Maybe you sell some winter jackets, and well, it's 108 degrees in Houston. But in New York, winter jackets are just flying off the shelf. We're going to tell you, no, we need you to ship it to New York because that's where you're going to sell your product, and that way you don't end up sitting on product, okay? So that's some of the delivery information that we'll provide for you. And if you move on to the next page. So why would you do fulfilled by Amazon or Prime in addition to like customer service, deliveries, and everything that we talked about? It's actually going to cost you less money to ship from Amazon than it would if you tried to ship for yourself. And how do we know? We will provide you the details. You can do your homework for yourself. You can say, all right, Amazon, these are the dimensions. In your Seller Central, it'll say, here's the dimensions, here's the weight of what I'm trying to sell, what I'm trying to ship, and it'll tell you, well, here's what it's going to cost you through Amazon. We have huge partnerships. In fact, Amazon Logistics was recently named, like, I don't know, the third largest. Is it the first, second, or third? Well, we're the largest logistics company in the world now. Okay? So we can pretty much manage that inventory for you, that supply chain, more cost effective than if you try to do it for yourself. And we're not just telling you that, we'll actually provide you the details, and you can decide for yourself how you want to do it. All right? Your dimensions with your shipping company versus your dimensions with us. All right, there's another aspect of Amazon that I think is super cool. A lot of you might be thinking, I already have a storefront. I don't want to create another storefront, or maybe I do want to create another storefront, but I want people to know that I sell on Amazon on my own storefront. There's an opportunity to add a Buy with Prime button on your own storefront, okay? So I might go to, is it CPG Office? Well, our store is actually the Office Text, but yes. Office Text? Okay, I might go to officetext.com as an example, and they're selling on Amazon in our storefront, but they might also be selling direct to their customers, and it might say Buy with Prime on their storefront. It means that they will, if you are a Prime member, you can leverage all of your Prime benefits on that storefront. That actually increases your selling opportunity by a minimum of 25% is what we've seen statistically, that people will not abandon their carts because of the Buy with Prime button. So there's another opportunity there for you to look at ways to partner with Amazon. In order to do that, can we go back one more? You have to be a US-based business, must have your own website and sell your own product. You must have a professional Seller Central account, and you must have an Amazon Pay account. All right? Moving on. I'm going really fast, and I appreciate you guys just kind of letting me go through this quickly. Let's talk about some additional resources. So, because now we've already highlighted how do you sell on Amazon, how do you start your business, and why you should do it, all right? And who's buying and how do they see it. We've kind of addressed all of those. So now let's talk about some of the resources that you would want as a small business to say, whether it's on Amazon or just in general, how do I become more successful as an as a business owner? So let's move on to the next slide. So we have a couple of really cool forums. Once you become a Seller Central registered business account through Amazon, there's paid services here. We give you access to an entire university, to all types of forums, which with small business clips, you don't have to go through like, I don't know, college credit to go figure this out. You get like 15-minute videos or 10-minute videos on very specific things that you might want to have questions around. So that's to get you moving nice and quick. We're all about efficiency around here. So these are some examples of some of the videos that you have access to through your Seller Central forum. And if we go to the next slide, these are some free resources. You don't even have to be part of Amazon today. You might think, I don't know if I want to do this yet. I'm going to go home and I'm going to think on it, and I'm going to go and look and learn about all of these resources a little bit more. There are some awesome opportunities that we give out there for free. So Amazon Small Business Academy is a free resource with live webinars, on-demand trainings and series, office hours if you want to talk to someone, okay? In addition, we have something called the Founders Tables, which is actual other business owners that come and talk live, and they do different series around how to be an entrepreneur or own a business, explore different topics and with business experts, you can see here, and even like all the different kind of Ask Me Anything type features, all right? And then last but not least, we have what we call this is a small business podcast, where we put out a lot of content to help small and aspiring business owners learn how to be successful, whether it's on Amazon or just sometimes, you know, it's hard to like have the right mentors or the right other people that have done the same that what you're trying to do. It's not an easy thing to find someone who's really wanting to see you succeed. So we put out a lot of information for you, okay? And it allows you to explore different episodes within your own industry, with other experts, within Amazon, you know, experts like you're going to hear today about how to have a small business. And that's not all. We also, Amazon, if it was its own banking institution, it would be the 5th largest bank in the world. And that can be mind-blowing. But why is that important for you? Because we want to see you succeed, right? And sometimes you might not have the resources at hand to start a big business. You might like find yourself, you sold one item and did sell 20,000 of them, and holy cow, I wasn't expecting that I was going to make $300,000 in my first month selling 20,000 of these earpieces. I'm going to buy 200,000 of them next time, right? I'm going to buy more. You need the resources, the finances to do that, and sometimes it's not easy. You're going to put your house up for sale or something, right? So what do? We actually proactively recognize that there's this opportunity and the business is growing and you might need more resources, and we push out to you opportunities to actually leverage Amazon's power to help you buy more of your inventory. Because when you have more inventory to sell, our customers have more supply chain, right? So we don't want you to not have inventory. So Amazon Lending is another piece of our business that actually is out there looking to help you. And you can see here, like, not a lot of lengthy paperwork because, oh, by the way, you're already an Amazon partner, so we know a lot about you, right? A lot of flexibility in the financing options. And then ultimately, it frees up your own cash for your inventory costs and more. And then something that we did last year or the year before, this was a really cool program. If anyone's heard of Black Business Accelerator, we invested over $150 million to help small Black-owned businesses actually grow. And so that gave a lot of benefits. We're still in that process. It's a 4-year plan. I think we're in our third third out of the 4 years. So if you are a small Black-owned business, even more opportunities. I would definitely get on here and like learn about the Black Business Accelerator and what are some of the benefits for you to start your business. And then this is one of my favorite slides. I love to highlight how we get you more visibility. So it's not just, hey, I'm on Amazon and I have a product I want to sell and people are just looking for products. During Hispanic Heritage Month, if you don't know, I'm Latina. I'm very passionate about growing Hispanic-owned businesses. And so during Hispanic Heritage Month, we blasted, I mean blasted, the Hispanic storefronts. And we put out entrepreneurs with their stories and what they sold so that more businesses, more customers leverage very directly into Hispanic storefronts. During Women's History Month, we did the same. During Black History Month, we've done the same. And most recently, we just did one for the veteran-owned businesses. So we want to find you. We want to see what you sell, what storefronts you have, and we want to highlight your stories so that more and more people, especially, like, obviously all year we want people to, like, think about these things, but we know these things are highlighted in the calendar month yearly. And so, of course, we're going to take advantage of that and highlight those opportunities for our businesses, okay? So we continue to grow this out, and you can see we put a lot of thought into our marketing to make them stand out, okay? And that's it. Thank you. I'm going to pass this over. Like I said, I promise I wanted to bring a small-owned, women-owned business to talk about what their success has looked like on Amazon business.
Thank you, Tanya. Again, my name is Randy Pfeiffer, and it's a little weird because our business name with the city is CPG Office. But with Amazon Business, you have the luxury of giving yourself a pseudonym, and we are the Office Techs. We got onboarded in February of 2018 by a wonderful guy from an Amazon Roadshow. They sought out our company, and my boss kept getting emails. She kept putting them in delete and delete. Finally, she said, should we look at this? I think it's spam. So I reached out, and it wasn't spam. The onboarding process, as Tanya referred to, is quite simple. They held our hand. We have, as an office products vendor, an internal system that is able to accept electronic feeds, whether it's from procurement departments or other websites, and that's how we integrated with Amazon. Being an Amazon business, we also were able to sell on regular, I call it, Amazon, opening up to consumers and business. But the Amazon business utilizes our certifications, and I believe it was the last day of February of 2018 where we just put up 300 products. As an office supply vendor, I have over 200,000 products, but we put up 300. We went live about 4 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, and we started getting another one. I freaked out. I shut it down. I did not know what to expect. I wanted to make sure that everything was working properly, and we woke up to about $5,000 in orders the next day. That was 2018. In 2019, we were averaging about $100,000 in sales per day. I will tell you one thing. Having one product out is great. Having 300 products out is even better. We have currently right now about 7,000 products live on our website through Amazon Business. Does everybody buy all 7,000? No. I think we probably do about 1,500 products consistently. But it's been wonderful. We have an internal Amazon Business contact that I can reach out to. About 4 or 5 months ago, we reached out to a division of Amazon called SAS Core. I believe it's Strategic Account Services, where it's a paid service, but it's fantastic, fan-freaking-tastic, because I can email or call my rep at any point if I have a problem, which we've had, where something was not working properly and we just had to get it checked out. He's there, whether it was for financial money disbursements, because we do get paid by Amazon. So it's fantastic. I cannot stress it enough. It has opened up our our sales force, which is literally me and one other person. I've spent a lot of time as Vice President of Business Development hiring and firing salespeople. A lot of you people have sales staff or are sales staff, and you work hard, but it's hard to get the return. This has opened up our business like nothing else. When we first started, we have the ability through Amazon reports to look at other, who's buying from us. A lot of these people are Princeton University, Stanford University, you name it. The government buys from us. We are certified with the government as well. But it has literally, we can filter and see who's buying from us. And a statistic that I looked up today, back in July, we had a yearly review with our account services team within Amazon. Our sales were up 23% year over year. This past year, the 23% increase was 100% due to our certification of a woman-owned business. That means that buyers are going out and selecting woman-owned business and finding us. Now, we have the luxury of having, like I said, 200,000 items, but it is critical that you are on top of what you sell, that you can provide it, that you're not just selling phantom products and now what? And like Tanya said, it is a 7-day-a-week business. We have to respond to customer requests and messages within 24 hours. I don't take vacation, but it's well worth it. Whenever Amazon asks me to do something like this, I jump at the opportunity because they have been so good to us. Back in 2019, we were the number one, I think we still may be number one or number two, small business category in office products for Amazon business. That being said, they fly us to Seattle to speak in front of their 500, 600 worldwide sales force. The consensus by a lot of people is that Amazon destroys small business. On the contrary, they take small business and take them to the public. I could never find a salesperson that could sell the way they do at $40 a month. It was a no-brainer. So.
Something he highlighted is, there's a couple of things. So I don't work on the seller side. I actually sell to the government. My team sells to the government. I cover 25 states in the United States through my team. So what does my team do? My team is selling his products all day long, right? My team's going to be selling your products all day long. So when you think about back to do we need more salespeople? Amazon's its own salesperson, right? It's like 100 salespeople at once. So there's opportunities there. It's really, really important how you set up your profile. In addition to that, my team is full of what we call customer advisors, account executives. We have an entire team of customer advisors, account executives that support small businesses to help them get successful, which is what he was talking about, the strategic, I don't know what they're called, AS services. So I hope that what you'll take away from here today is we are here to help you grow your business on Amazon if that is something that you're interested in. We currently only do products, commodities. We're not in the services yet. Hopefully one day we will be. But if you sell a commodity item and you're interested in selling to the city, there is an opportunity here for us to make it easy for you and easy for them. It is important that you register, that you're a registered vendor so that you can be seen even stronger. We highlight all small businesses, whether they're registered with the city or not. They are, from our point of view, if you have an SBA registration or a hub certification, we highlight all of you. It is important for the city to have those registered vendors here in the market as well. But we want to give you access to all of our local government agencies, not just one, right? It's everyone. So that's why we just want your certifications. I would recommend them, okay? And then the last thing I would say is that doing business as is super important. The city has provided us a list of small businesses that they do business with. If ours is a doing business as and yours is registered differently, it's hard for us to find you, right? So if you're selling if you're a registered business with the city and you are selling on Amazon and you want to let us know, it'll make it easier for us to be able to highlight to them which ones you are. Because again, if you're CPG and office techs, we're only registering office techs. We don't know your CPG that's registered. So like, just think about that as well. And we are literally on time right now. So we, okay.
Before anyone leaves, if you are interested in being connected with our Small Business Academy and our seller crew, I have a sign on. What I need is I need an email for us to contact you, and our seller team will reach out and just provide you information more in depth than what Tanya shared today.
Yep, and that will be, we are sitting at the Houston Strategic Purchasing Department's table. So just find us there. And we may not have a chance to talk to all of you guys because I know there's not much more time left. But if you can just at least give us your email information, we can at least send you some information, and then you guys can communicate with us that way. And if anybody has any questions for Randy, he'll be at the booth with me. It's in room 270E or 370E. Where's the booth? 372, 371E. It's where it's the next room over where all the city yeah, we're with them. 372 where all the city organizations are. And the very first booth when you walk in the door, you're going to see Houston Strategic Purchasing. We're on the corner right there.
To them.
Okay, and the PowerPoint? Oh, okay, thank you. Yes. I forgot. We started a minute. You want to go ahead and make it? Okay. Hello, everyone. And I'm really happy to see all of you here. And I'm pretty sure I made some of you at the registration. We're really glad to have you guys here. So I'm here, we represent the Houston Airport System, and our office, the Houston Airport System, Office of Business Opportunity. And we are here with Ms. Kelly Irving, who is here. She's our Deputy Assistant Director. She's standing here. She's sitting here, Ms. Kelly Irving. And also, I have Munir Abdur. He's one of my coworkers. He's a Senior Business Development Coordinator. And then I have Leon White, who is our Staff Analyst. We also have Desiree Williams and Terry Sims. So we are 6. And myself, Josette Safi Kilonda. I'm a Senior Business Development Coordinator as well. So we are 6 in our office. So now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go to the next slide. And then I'm going to talk about our mission. Why do we exist? So the Houston Airport we exist to connect people, business, cultures, and economies of the world to Houston. And we all know that Houston is like we know it is a city, but I call it as a small country. So that's the reason that's a big city, so it's like a small country, and we like to make sure that the city connects to the entire world. So that's why we exist. And our vision, we want to make sure that we establish the Houston Airport System as a 5-star global air service getaway where the magic of flight is celebrated. So everywhere, you know, we are, the airports, we want to make sure that everyone, you know, people, like within the entire world, to know and connect with us. Can we go to the next, please? And then here at the city of Houston, we have 3 airports. So we have Bush Airport, which is IAH. We have Hobby, and also which HOU, and then we have Ellington, which is EFD. And also we have about 54 million passengers in 2022, and about 60 million passengers back in 2019. And not only that, we contributed about 36 billion to the local economy. That happened in 2019. But even though we were hit by COVID, but we still made it. And not only that, we are also responsible for about 190,000 jobs. And then also we have gateway to South Central region of the United States and gateway to Latin America. So we're really good, we're really great. And for the next one, we're gonna talk about, can we go to the next slide, please? And then not only that, I'm gonna talk about how, you know, we 5 stars. So the Hobby, I don't know if you heard about it, we earned 5 stars in North America. And then Hobby Airport is also the best regional airport in North America, the top 10 cleanest airport in North America, and the top 10 best airport staff in North America. So that's not easy, but we made it happen. And not only that, we also have the Bush Intercontinental Airport, which is where we have a lot of international flights. And then it is rated as a 4-star, but we're trying our best for that to be a 5-star as well, so which is gonna happen very soon. And then we are also considered as the top 10 best airports in the world, and then also the top 3 best website digital services in the world, and also the top 10 best airport staff in North America. And there's also one thing I would like to say about our office, the Office of Business Opportunity at the airport. We have a lot of projects. So us as a Office of Business Opportunity, we have a lot of projects, and we advocate for small businesses. We would like for you to know and to learn about all projects that we have. As myself, I'm an outreach, and I want to make sure that you guys have a small piece of a pie of, all the projects contract that we have at the airport. Next, I'm going to go and give to my colleague Munir Abdul, who's going to give more detail about all the changes that are coming to all the airport at IAH. Here, Munir.
Thank you, Josette, for giving us this introduction about our airport. My name is Munir Abdu, and I'm the Senior Business Coordinator for the Houston Airport System. We are a department with the City of Houston, and as my colleague mentioned, our airport is growing, and also our opportunities are growing with our airport. As you all know, we have a big project that is going on right now that should be wrapping up at the end of the year. That brought a lot of opportunity. It was about $1.5 billion. We had a lot of subcontractors and prime that took advantage of the opportunities that came with that project. Next slide, please. So also, we just got an approval from the council to give us the go-ahead for a new facility at the Arlington field. It's going to be a TSU facilities and academy. So it's going to have 20,000 square feet hangar and 7,200 square foot office space. That also screams opportunity. So if you are out there as a subcontractor, there's a lot of opportunity. We'd like for you to stay connected and approach those opportunities. Next, please. So we're talking about opportunities. We'd like to present you with the current opportunity that we have coming in the next coming months. It's at the Arlington. It's a drainage rehabilitation and upgrade. It's got a 13% DBE goal, and it's also in the pre-proposal meeting should be coming soon, and we'd like for you to stay tuned and attend those pre-meetings, because that's the pre-proposal meetings, because that's how you get to meet the prime. So I would like to ask how many subcontractors we have here. All right. So when you are a subcontractor, we recommend that you attend our pre-meetings so you can connect with our primes, and especially when it comes to the airport project, There's it's not that there's different qualification, not different process, but special process. So when you come, you'll be able to learn, and the more you learn, the more you'll be able to kind of land this kind of opportunities. So that's the advice that we'd like to give you, and we're also here to help you. So if you have any questions or anything, you can always reach out to us. Next, please. So this is professional services, and this is a window and building cleaning. So this is very, very good for all professional services companies out there that they have experience in contracting and cleaning windows and buildings. This solicitation is due in the 21st, and it's got a goal of 22%. So you're more than welcome to please look it up. If you have any questions, we are here. Please approach us. I've met many of you earlier. You have my business card, and we will provide you with the information so you can reach out to us. Next, please. And also, so it's not only what's happening now, it's what's happening in the future. So we'd like to present to you the Houston Airport has a 5-year capital improvement program, which is approved by the city of Houston. And it's for the next 5 years, from 2024 to 2028, it's about $2.8 billion. That's a lot of opportunities out there, and we'd like for you to check it out. We accompany it with, it's on the website. It's Capital Improvement Project, Houston.gov. You can always visit our website, flytohouston.com. You go to business opportunities and their business resources. We have all this information that we're sharing right now. It's in there. It's for you, so you can stay updated and connected. So as it states, there's a project, airfield project, there's infrastructure project, and there's terminal project. So there is something for everybody in there for you to find out. Next, please. And for our solicitation, this is the page. It's all on the bottom on the red. It's where you can find all our upcoming projects. And then once you click on those projects, it gives you all the information that it's related to the project and who's attend the meeting and who's the prime, so you can be able to get in touch with them and get an opportunity. Next. And just want to give you an overview of how, what an impact we make when it comes to contracting with primes and subcontractor in any contract type. So, for example, for construction, and up to June the 30th, we have awarded about $100 million for MWSBEs when it comes to construction, and then professional service about $36 million, and then goods and services about almost $9 million. So it's a lot of money there, and it's a lot of opportunity, and we'd like for you to come and get it. So we are here to help you. Please reach out to us, and we'll be more than able to walk you through the process. When it comes to the process, it's you have to understand what kind of solicitation you're looking for and what you need to do so you can land that solicitation. And that's why we are here. And the City of Houston, our website, Office of Business Opportunity, there is a lot of resources for you out there. You just have to look for it. Next, please. And that's why we have these useful references for you. If you like to do business with the city, you can always go to the purchasing department website, and the procurement manual also is in there, the vendor guide, and then the formal bids, walking through how to present bids. So all the information is there. And if you have any question, you can always reach out to us. And also for government grants and small businesses, there is a website right there that is in partnership with Chamber of Commerce that gives you all the tools you need for that. Next, and now we are if you have any question, I'll be more than happy to answer for you, me and my colleague here. Any question? All right. Ms. Kelly would like to say something? All right. I got to bring the big star.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's give Josette and Munir a round of applause. These are your 2 point persons for the Houston Airport System Office of Business Opportunity. However, I'd like to ensure to each of you that our entire team is dedicated to your success. I think Munir mentioned, come and get it. Come and get it. How many of you want to get some of that pie? Okay, we're going to upgrade it to the whole meal. Okay, how about that? Only way we can do that if you connect with us and tell us where you are. The opportunities that they selected for today's presentation, we believe are within your wheelhouse. The value of those contracts are within reach for many small businessmen and women. We know that you are well capable of delivering a quality product and or service to Houston Airport System. Many of our contracts are in the billion-dollar price tag. We have many at 500 million. But we do realize that we have contracts that are within, like, say, 750,000 to 1.5 million. And we don't want to limit you to just that category, but this is information that we've received back from you in our surveys. So many of you here, if you can go beyond $1.5 million, we're all for you, and we're here to help you connect as a prime contractor. We are actually working on an initiative to actually begin to not only engage our prime contractors, but also our major subcontractors as well, so that we can engage with both of those categories in order to open up the door for quality subcontracting opportunities. With that being said, I want to strongly encourage each of you to take a moment. If you are on LinkedIn, now I'm opening up to you. My name is Kelly Irving. Friend me right now. This is a challenge. Friend me right now. So roughly there's about 100 people in here. On LinkedIn, I should get 100 requests for a friend or connect. IRVING. It's Kelly, Kellie, Irving. Now that you've connected with me, you have a point person at Houston Airport System whose purpose is to ensure that you connect with our opportunities. We believe in building the pipeline, okay? Today, many of you are going to engage with various city departments, and there's going to be an opportunity for you today. For some of you, the opportunity may be down the road, either midterm or long term. We want to engage with you to help you build your pipeline. We want to ensure that you have continuity in what you can provide to our department and to help those individuals, our travelers coming to Houston and or our citizens leaving Houston. We want you to be a part of that history and a part of that engagement. So it's critically important that you have a point person. My director, I have two wonderful, illustrious directors. The first one is Director Marsha Murray with the City of Houston Office of Business Opportunity. My second is Director Mario Diaz. He's the Director of Aviation for the City of Houston. Both of those directors require us to make it happen. And today is an example of making it happen with meeting the buyers. But now you have a friend, a LinkedIn connect, that's going to actually be your segue to Houston Airport System. With that being said, thank you. Are there any questions? Absolutely. It's Kelly, Kellie, and the last name is Irving, IRVING. Now that you are part of this room, this is room 370, is that correct? Okay, so I don't give everybody this privilege. My initials are KI, so I'm going to give you the permission to call me Kiki. So I know that when you call on Kiki, I know automatically when you call out Kiki, that's how my response is going to, okay, they must be part of the network, the family network, okay? So feel free to call me Kiki. Kelly Irving on LinkedIn. I'm your connect. I would encourage, well, I can encourage the staff to do the same, but I will make myself available to you. Now, if you are, we have actually a workshop that we provide to individuals how to do business with HAS, where we actually give you the playbook. We want to do more, we want to take you to the next level. So we know that majority of you are certified. We know that majority of you know how to look for the contracting opportunities. So now we want to put you in front of the project managers, okay? We want to help you identify that opportunity that's coming down the pipe for you. And that means that our quality of service has to be upgraded. And so we want to engage you in an orientation so that we can actually give you have a smaller group where we're giving you one-on-one attention, okay? Any questions on engaging with HAS? How many of you, I know you're aware of the United expansion. How many are aware of the United expansion? Okay, those of you that raised your hand, have you engaged with Manhattan, Siemens, and Clark Construction? Very good, very good. I don't think that, I'm not aware, I didn't see them either, so, but we want to help you connect with them. So if you have that interest of United expansion, connect with us and we'll put you in contact with the appropriate people to help you, you know, remove the layers, the barriers of accessing that information. The United Airlines is being very aggressive in communicating how to connect with these opportunities as a result of this expansion. Southwest Airlines is another opportunity. Hobby Terminal Southwest expansion will take place. That's over $400 million that's been dedicated to that expansion. I don't know about you, but if I was seated where you're seated right now, I would be all over that, running around here. Call me Kiki, call me Kiki. So what I actually want to do is help you engage, okay? With that being said, we have many opportunities that are on our takeaway at our booth. Our table in 372, I believe it is. Please come by, either QR coded or take away one of the takeaway pamphlets, and we are here to help you talk through those opportunities that may be of interest. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you. What is your name? Miss Tamika. May I call you Tamika? Miss Tamika, I will encourage you to continue your certification. I would encourage you not to wait until you're certified to engage with us, okay? Because you don't have to be certified to do business with our airport. Okay? We just need to find you the opportunity. Obviously, the certification is another tool, business tool that is very valuable to the city of Houston because we do set goals on contracting opportunities. But at the end of the day, some of our contracts do not carry a goal, and we don't want to preclude you as a viable prime or subcontractor on that. Okay, so we're happy to connect you. If it's something that within our office, we can encourage you and connect you with the information, yes. Or if it requires an additional conversation with a project manager or the business unit that utilizes your goods, specialty, or professional service, we're happy to try to connect you with that individual. Okay? Okay, just one second. I saw a gentleman back there, gentleman here, and then the young lady. Yes. Yeah, well, let me give you my number and my email. You ready? All right. I'm going to walk the room now because I got the mic. It's Kelly, first name, dot Irving at HoustonTX.gov. My phone number is 281 233 7833. Okay, so Kelly Irving, kelly.irving at houstontx.gov. 281 233 7833. Okay. The next question was right here. Do you need a microphone? Did I have a question here? Oh, okay, the young lady. Go ahead. Let me bring you the microphone. Excuse me, Director.
My name is Susan Correa, and I just started a new company called Faith in Phoenix. I come from the business of fashion, just moved to Houston, and trying to reimagine how to bring the best of fashion into the world of uniforms and workwear. I do global sourcing and production overseas. Met with Lufthansa Airlines about 6 months ago, and I have already shipped and executed their entire range of uniforms. I'm now working on all of their high visibility and safety uniforms, as well as the front-facing. So I just wanted to know, how do I network with the United teams and the Southwest teams? I do high visibility, I do uniforms for cargo, uniforms for safety, the whole gamut. So I'm basically industry agnostic because of the wide production capabilities. So just want to know how to network with the right teams so that a lot of time is not wasted. Like with Lufthansa, I managed through one contact to just get in front of the procurement officer, made a presentation to all of their station managers, and literally within 60 minutes I had the contract.
Thank you for that question. What's your name? Susan. Miss Susan? Can I call you Susan? All right, very good. Okay, Susan, what I would like to do is allow you an opportunity to have a conversation with me one-on-one. And the reason I'm asking for that, because your request is very specialized. You're asking for access to our carriers because you would like to present a proposal to them regarding their uniforms. That will require me to conduct some research to get the actual name and contact information of those individuals that are in my role for those carriers. And so that you can either connect with them with the hopes that they'll connect you with the individuals responsible for selection of uniforms. Okay? All right, so I ask, although we are in the month of December and everyone's schedule is extremely busy, I want to challenge you to reach out to me today so that you and I can identify a 30-minute segment between now and next week. Okay? You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Are there any other opportunities of meeting me before the end of December 15th? Think about that. If you guys want 30 minutes, I'm giving it up. Okay?
Kiki or Kelly, which one? She's okay. That is so informal. We just met. What about Miss Kiki or just Kiki? Miss Kiki. We're going to go with Miss Kiki. Miss Kiki, I had a question. Munir, when you were going through the presentation, we were talking about the number of business that you've done with many small business owners like the ones in this room. I'm just curious to know if you can speak more about P-card processes and what that's looked like, and maybe if you can share a case study or a story of a recent P-card purchase that you've done, what that's looked like, and what that informal process looks like. Thank you.
Your name?
Alicia Ray.
Miss, may I call you Alicia? Sure. Okay. Miss Alicia, thank you so much for that question. Oh my gosh, that is such a very powerful question. P-card purchases. We know that P-card purchases are within a certain threshold, okay? Most business units throughout the city of Houston, someone in that business unit does have a P-card. Now, the rules regarding P-card are very detailed. We can make certain purchases for goods and services up to $3,000, okay, per month. If it's with one dedicated vendor, no more than $50,000 per fiscal year, okay? We cannot purchase from a vendor if the service or good that they represent falls under one of our master service agreements. An example is a Granger or a Staples, okay? We try, I can say from the HAS-OBO perspective, with our granted budget, I try to engage certified companies for goods that do not fall under the master service agreement that I can legally, verse on my policy, engage you, okay? Under $3,000, we're not obligated to look for 3 quotes, okay? We want to make sure you're vetted, you can produce what we're purchasing, and you can deliver. Did I answer that question? Okay, so if you offer a good or service that may fall under a small purchase, then please give us a call so we can explore the opportunities for you within our business unit and or connect you with the business unit that may use your service or good on a regular basis. Okay? Director, I hope I hit on that. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure it's time. You know what? I'm having fun now. I'm warmed up. I was about to pull my coat off. Okay. But nonetheless, if you're enjoying this conversation and you would like to have more of it, please take the time to connect with me so we can coordinate a smaller group. You're welcome at HAS anytime. We really want to engage with you and open up that door for communication and, more importantly, for opportunity. With that being said, thank you so much. Happy holiday season to each and every one of you. And what did you say, Munir? Come and get some? Okay, come and get some of that money, okay? All right, very good. Thank you.
So folks, we have reached the end of our event. So the last is just going to be a podcast event commentary. You're welcome to stay and to listen. Other than that, that's just what we have left. So what happens throughout the year on a monthly basis, it's the Office of Business Opportunity partner with SCORE Houston, as well as Houston Community College. And we do a monthly podcast over at the location in Missouri City. And each month is a different topic about doing business with the city and just doing business in general to help folks to build their capacity and know how to do business with the government or in general. And so all those topics leads into today's event where you know what to do, you know what to look for, and know what to expect. And so typically we have our podcast on every first Thursday of the month, and so since this is the first Thursday, this will take the place of our podcast. So we'll just be doing our podcast, talking and recapping what happened today. So you're more than welcome to be our studio audience. If not, then I think most of the vendors have packed up and left, so if you want to go and eat lunch, you can go and do that. But please keep in mind that everything that happened in this room today was live streamed, so you can go to our handle is Houston-OBO, our YouTube channel, and so that you'll be able to see all the different workshops that happened today. We'll be there. So if you're not going to stay, thank you for coming out. If you are going to stay, thank you for coming out and thank you for staying. And we're going to start the podcast. Test that, make sure that